Welcome back to the show. This is Lil GH today here on GHOne TV. It's a special day today. Yes, I'm excited. Let's head to the court. Mutala Nisa is here. Mutala, yesterday there were a lot of things that we anticipated, and they actually happened in court with regards to the ambulance case. But let's look at the Saglemi case first. Was Alhaji Collins Dauda there?
Yeah, before I take you to court, I want to say happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
Exactly. You don't want me to be part of it. I saw you this morning. I was so much happy.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
May the Almighty God grant you all your wish and all your heart ends.
Amen. Amen.
Long life, a lot of abundance of grace,
Amen.
a lot of money, more cash.
Amen.
Cash.
Amen. Amen.
So
but I'm the one taking the cash on her behalf.
Assistant birthday celebrant, yes.
Okay, so taking you to court, yes, this man was in court yesterday. Yes, Angel Alhaji Collins.
Yes, now we have added Angel
so
to his name. Yeah.
He was in court. The Saglemi, second prosecution witness, came to court and he has started testifying in relation to this very case. Kukua Jiman Mensah, he is part three together with Kukua Jiman Mensah, Alhaji Zibrim Yakubu, and then Nuvi Tete Angelo. They are standing trial. The contractor is passed on. So before Justice Ernest Owusu-Dapah yesterday, the witness started to testify in relation to support prosecution's case that yes, indeed, the remaining four, as it were, contributed in this whole matter to cause financial loss to the state. So the case will come up again sometime next week.
Okay. Now to the case that has taken a lot of twists and garnered media attention and public attention as well. Ambulance case.
So yesterday, what the focus was, what would become of the objection that was raised by state prosecutors. But the director of public prosecution even submitted or made the argument for the court to reject that particular audio. Justice Efiase Wasaribuchi yesterday looked at the situation, weighed, examined the argument, the submissions made by for and against, and was of the considered view that if this tape was provided by the prosecution, it was likely to have been admitted. So on the reverse, then the court will have to look at it. But of course, the court will treat it with the value that it is. And that will also help her to force him to also put up a case, especially so also because in that conversation, there were a lot of things that were discussed about the LCs that actually gave birth to or gave up way for the monies to be released, and then how the ambulances were supposed to come in and all that. So the court admitted it evident and added a caveat that by close of today, if the defense have any other evidential material that they want to file, they don't want anybody to be ambushed. They have to file by 3 p.m. today. If they don't do that, case closed. The window is shut. Just like football transfer windows.
Window is closed.
The transfer window will be closed. So by 3 p.m., they have to do that. Then proper action started, cross-examination. That's where the issues came. And yesterday, Michelle Japa has been saying, in fact, those things that we heard on the audio, he's even added more.
Oh, really?
Added more, yes. So he confirmed that there was a meeting with the Attorney General. He said if you look at all, they had 4 meetings. In 2022, there were 2. And after the case has come and then they started plea bargaining, also they have discussion and all that. And in fact, one of the things that he pointed out was that the Attorney General indicated to him in the home of Justice GHOne that, look, there's pressure on him from the president and finance minister at the time, Ken Ofori-Atta, that they have to make sure that by May, we are in June, right?
Yes.
Yes, by May, that is last month, at least, if you could support them to have Atufos in jail at least for a month, so that his seat will be declared vacant for them to go for a by-election. And a by-election, they pump in a lot of money so that they win. And the reason they were targeting May is that the Constitution states that 6 months to an election, there won't be any by-election.
Yes.
So the only opportunity that there could be a by-election, the deadline will be
elapsed in May.
So in May, by May, quarter by May, they ensure that at least
if
nothing happened at all, Atufos should have been in jail, even for 1 month. It will serve the purpose. And he said, look, what even shows that when you go for by-election, you win? He said, no, the people of Central Region, they are very cheap. If they are cheap, when you send money there, they will definitely turn. So that's one of the
Those are interesting revelations.
Absolutely. One of the things that he had been saying. On the ambulance itself, he said, look, before the NDC exited power, everything that had to do, the problems, the challenges along, they have finalized everything. All that was left was implementation. And then he walked to GHOne Menu at the time, who is the Minister for Health, and showed him all the documents. In fact, the letter that was written by Alex Segbefia, the then health minister. He showed him the letter, and all that was supposed to have been done was to implement the letter. And said, look, GHOne Menu told him that, look, in NPP, we have our own businessmen, and these ambulances, we are not going to go with it and all that. And so the processes that were supposed to have been followed, they ignored it. And in fact, they went ahead to, as it were, procure their own ambulances that were similar to what they have intended. So he described that as an attempt to sabotage the ambulance process. He also went ahead to also make some other revelations, i.e. to say that, look, if you look at all this whole matter, it is one that's become a political witch hunt. He went ahead to also say that the Attorney General betrayed him at the point because he promised him that at one point in time during the submission of no case, and it is that during submission of no case that the court weighs the testimony of the prosecution witnesses and find if there's any prima facie. He said before that day, Attorney General met him and assured him that for you, during submission of no case, you will be discharged. And lo and behold, they came to court and the court asked him to open his defense. It means the AG has actually betrayed him. So he doesn't know if a submission of no case, you couldn't do anything, how much more at the end of the trial. So these are some of the things that...
Can we then say that it is after the submission of no case that he felt the need to come out and speak about all these things? So
he made mention about the fact that during when prosecution was calling their witnesses, there was something that they left out. And when Ato Forson was also mounting defense, he left something out. That is the seal. And in fact, when Setekpe also came to court, he even didn't add it. And he pointed it to the Attorney General. I am going to relate to this particular information to the court, for the court to understand that, yes, there was an authorization for that to happen. And he said, no, if you do that, you're going to destroy my case. So don't do that. And he is saying that I cannot come to court and lie to the court. So whatever information I have, I'll put out there. He also gave some testimony to the fact that even in the home of, he first spoke to Jakpa on Justice Jolene Kolendi's phone. And they had a meeting somewhere around 11:30 a.m. And then the meeting spanned to around 1:30 thereabouts and all that. And at the point in time, he was even angry with the Attorney General and the kind of thing that they said were unpleasant that I wouldn't want to detail in court. And so in relation to all that, Jakpa has been making the point, yes, there was a conversation even before plea bargaining processes started and all that. So in effect, yesterday, but of course, the prosecution is also promising the showdown. You know, on Wednesday, on Tuesday.
When the showdown man showed up in Kumasi, now the prosecution is showing down.
Absolutely. So the showdown means Tuesday, AG will have the opportunity to subject.
But he was not in court yesterday.
Yesterday, Godfrey Debo-Adame wasn't present in court for the second time after June 6th. And you know, June 6th was the day that Justice Efiasewa Saribotwe made a ruling on those applications, including the missed trial, and advised him, if possible, he should not directly involve himself in this whole matter. So after that particular sitting, you notice that he said that I'm in charge of this case and I'm prosecuting the matter. So we thought that he would be in court subsequently. But the last two sittings, he has not been in court and all that. But we've been interacting with the Deputy Attorney General, Alfred Chiayebo, and let's hear him on relation to the allegations made by Mr. Jakpa in open court.
Run away is the absence of the Attorney General in court. Is it now clear that he's headed to the advice of the court?
The right to be in court. He reserves the right not to be in court. At the time that he wants to be in court, you see him. If he doesn't want to be in court, you also not see him. So it's just normal. The Attorney General does not prosecute all the cases in our office. If in this particular matter, sometimes he comes, other times he doesn't come. Today he's not in. It doesn't mean that next time he will not be coming. So you leave it there. Tuesday, Wednesday, next month, I'm saying this matter that we started, we are going to prosecute it to its conclusion.
So, Deputy Attorney General.
Yes, Alfred Chiayebo. Yes,
yes.
So,
Attorney General, when there are times he comes, there are times he doesn't come.
Of course. In fact, it's a department.
Right.
Yes.
So there are so many lawyers, like he said. Sometimes the Attorney General himself will come. There are so many cases that are run that he himself is not in personally. You can talk of the SNAIT, OBS, Dr. Stephen Kobno Puni. You can talk about, in fact, Sagleme, Allergic Collins, all that. There are cases that you see him once a while. But one of the cases that he's been showing up much more time in relation to the ambulance case. So that is why they focus. And of course, we know the allegations that have been made and the fact that he wasn't. But for the last 2 sittings, he hasn't been present. He heard the Deputy Attorney General clearly on that. At any given time when he wants to come to court, nobody stops him.
Exactly. Absolutely. He's the Attorney General for crying out loud. Let's look at the cases coming up today.
Yes. So today, the ECOWAS court is in Ghana. I know the ECOWAS Economic Community of
West African States.
Yes. They also, there's a court that when there's human rights violation and all sorts of things that they run to. Recently, Shalima Abusi dragged Ghana to the ECOWAS court for violation of fundamental human rights and all that. That is the court that she's going to. They are in Ghana, and today there's a training for lawyers, there's a training for government agents, state attorneys, and all that on how to manage electronic system. You know, we are moving to the digital age, and a lot of things, court processes, they are using the digitalization, e-justice, and all that. So they are in Ghana to provide training for lawyers, to provide training for all the people who matters in there. So this morning, the Chief Justice will be there, the Attorney General will be there, the President of the Ghana Bar Association, and of course, the President of the ECOWAS Court will also be here to do with that particular. So this morning, there will be an opening ceremony that we are live there. So that's one of the things that is coming up in court today. In this case, it's coming out of the law court complex.
And Beige Bank.
Yes.
Mike.
The case that the subject matter of 61 witnesses.
Yes. One of the highest so far in the country.
Yes, as to whether all of them will come is also another issue. But what it is that today we are expecting the 12th witness. So gradually we are making progress. So the 11th was... Yes, out of 61.
You have a long way
It's a long haul.
So before Justice Evia Sewa Saribuche, we expect Michael Nyineku, the founder of the defunct Beige Bank, to come to court with his lawyers, led by lawyer Tadiosori, and then Bafo Jeubonsueshia, and then other team members. So that's what we do expect also coming up today. So these are the 2 main cases. Of course, the other cases I normally would chance on, and those are the bigger cases that sometimes you have no knowledge of. But you're just passing through the corridors of the court, and you just chance on it.
Definitely.
Captain, thank you very much. As
Happy
always.
birthday to you, Lily.
Thank you. Thank you.
We are dedicating the show to you.
I know. Thank you so much. We'll catch you on the flip side. That's it for court today. Welcome back to the show. This is still GH Today here on GHOne TV. It's time for the breakfast review. And the usual suspects have taken their seats. Wilberforce Cesare is is political editor with Asasi Radio. The senior suspect himself, Audu Mahama, is managing editor for the Custodian newspaper, and the deputy suspect, Ibrahim Alassad, is head of political desk here at the IB. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Good to have you, my usual suspects.
Good
to
morning.
have you
Good morning.
here, especially given the day we find ourselves. In fact, we should have introduced you.
I know.
Instead of introducing us on the show. So happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you.
We pray for long life
Thank you.
good health and prosperity. And good luck as well, because on this continent you need it. You need luck.
Yes,
You need luck.
we need a lot of luck.
Most definitely. Most definitely.
To manage, because we become managers.
Yes.
So happy birthday to you as well.
Thank you.
Today is also the 4 years anniversary of Asasi Radio, where I work.
Okay, happy birthday to you as
So
well.
happy birthday to Asasi Radio as well.
yeah.
That's
And happy
nice.
birthday to you, Lily.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yes.
Thank
Happy birthday, Lily.
Thank you.
Stay blessed, and may God give you good health,
Amen.
long life,
Amen.
and all that you desire in life.
Amen. That's very important.
And he actually shared a birthday with a very good friend of mine who also works at Asasi Radio, Caleb Ahinakwa.
Oh, okay.
Caleb was not too well, but he's recovering now. So if he's listening, happy birthday to you,
To
Caleb.
him.
And then you share birthday with the beautiful Lily.
Beautiful
Mohammed.
Lily. The beautiful
Thank you.
Lily.
Thank you. Happy
happy.
birthday to you,
Be happy.
my fellow birthday celebrant.
Yes,
And
definitely.
happy birthday to Dr. Mustafa Abdul Hamid.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
Pines
MPA
Salaman.
boss. MPA
Oh,
boss.
okay.
Yeah. Happy
They
birthday,
are equally
bro.
celebrating
You know,
their
the
birthdays
number
too.
14 is
Sheikh,
special
happy
to
birthday.
me
Okay.
because I'm also born on the 14th day, but on the month of April.
April. Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
14 is a very special day for me.
For you.
Oh.
14.
See,
I-
The number 14.
I am a February born. You know, we love people.
I know.
Yeah, love,
I
yeah.
know. Yeah,
Okay,
it's
we-
a month of love.
Yeah, for me, we lock the door. I'm a December born.
Yes.
I'm a December born, so
Hey,
we
you
actually
actually lock the door.
We lock the door, and then it's over.
Well, let's go into the subject matter for this morning. There are a number of issues to discuss. Key on the agenda is the issue of national security. Speaker Bagwin says, do not deploy the military on election day. Allow the police to work. If for anything at all, the military can come in as reinforcement. We also had the Amenfi East PC for the NPP make inciting comments against soldiers, for minors to beat up soldiers when they are confronted, and whether or not this speaks to issues that are really in the system that they did not come to bear. Because if we did not have this video, obviously we wouldn't have heard what this man said. And it doesn't also suppose that there are a number of these comments being passed by people who are supposed to know better in the political arena. Let me start with you, Wilberforce.
Thank you very much. And, you know, the speaker's call, when I heard it, I was a little bit worried.
Why?
I was a little bit worried because traditionally, when it comes to issues in our country that threatens the territorial integrity of the country, you have always seen that there's been collaboration between the police and the military. Even the fight against Galamsey, there was a collaboration between the military and the police. There are times that we are threatened. You know, if you go to our borders at the top of our country, that 500 and something kilometer stretch of a border between us and Burkina Faso, there is an ongoing collaboration between the military, the police, and the immigration to make sure that we keep our borders safe and don't have infiltrations from terrorists who are operating in and within Burkina Faso and what have you. So collaboration between the police and the military at critical times has always been what we as a country have adopted. Election is a critical time in the life of any country, particularly our country, Ghana. And so, of a necessity, there's going to be collaboration between the police and the military. The police are responsible for the interior. The military are responsible for protecting the territorial integrity of the country. So they might not necessarily be involved in the interior, but their activities also help to protect the interior. Because if you are able to
whatever.
Yeah, what is infiltrating, yes. And so, quite frankly, towards election 2024, as has been in other elections that at least I have witnessed, there's going to have to be collaboration between the two security institutions to maintain the security of the state. And it is not something that can be overemphasized.
No.
So I find the pronouncements and the rationale behind the pronouncements as being quite difficult. And if you talk to any security analyst, they will tell you that for someone like the speaker, when it comes to something like this, he needs to go slow on it. He needs to go slow on it because there are various factors that go into the kind of security that we provide at all material times, looking at the situation. There are in Ghana, you can find civilians who are protected by the military. In Ghana, you can go to. I have been to the home of a civilian, not a politician. He's a civilian, an ordinary Ghanaian, but a business person. And in his house, he had 2 military officers who had been detailed to offer him protection in his house. And they are arranged. So the authorities, authorities know if you give the reasons why you need this support and all that. So I think that, and the election ahead of us is a critical one. It's a critical one because one political party has been in office for 8 years and is seeking to renew the mandate by what they call breaking the 8. The other political party, who has also been in power before, has been in opposition for 8 years and is seeking to come back. They are seeking to come back with someone who has served as president before. and the ruling party is seeking to stay in office with a candidate who is the seventh vice president. So it is a critical election, and the security of the interior is so important that, quite frankly, I would expect that people in high offices, high places like the speaker, will leave the security architecture of the country to figure out how they are going to maintain the security of the state.
No.
So I'm not in the position to advise the speaker. I'm one small boy be sitting there somewhere, and I cannot be sitting on television attempting to advise the speaker. But I just
he has
think,
a position, you don't.
Yeah, I don't have a number. Yeah. So I want to think that when it comes to issues of security of the state, by the grace of God, we are blessed with security people, and these security people from both sides. You'll be surprised that the current security officials who are in charge of our security, you'll be surprised that they have a lot of contact with people who might be in the opposite side from where you'll be surprised.
Yeah.
Because to maintain security, you cannot do it one-sided.
No.
You need to look at all sides. That's the only way you can maintain security of the interior, because both sides exist in the same space you are trying to protect. So when it comes to security matters, I think that those who are not in the security circle should just keep quiet. Let's allow the people in the security circles. Let's trust in their capability. We all have sat here and say we trust the IGP. He is up to his task. The military has a new CDS Pepra. Very astute military officer, has served the military many years. So the experience is there. They have and know what it takes to protect the security of this country. So let's leave it to them. Let's not infiltrate their space. It is not safe for us, especially when it is the politicians who are infiltrating the space. And I'll connect this to the Amenfi East situation. I think that that member of parliament,
No, he's a
parliamentary candidate. He has had occasion to attempt to clarify what he said, which is always good to bring clarity to something you said that may not have gone well with people. But fundamental is the fact that he was heard actually saying that attack military officers. Me, I would never subscribe to anybody who makes an attempt to attack the military. Never. Never ever, because if you attack the military, particularly when you are civilian, you are setting yourself up for disaster. So quite frankly, I think that it is good that he has brought clarity. Going forward, he should be minded not to make such statements. And now that we are condemning the Amenfi East parliamentary candidate for the MPP, let's be mindful. Let all others be mindful, because Amenfi East is only one of the places where there is mining taking place. There are several other places. So we condemn one today. Let the rest be mindful that, look, don't go this route, especially when we are 6 months to the elections. After June, this country will go into a frenzy when it comes to elections. Everything will be about elections.
Yeah.
So let's be careful with our rhetoric. A lot is going to be said. Hey, this last 6 months in our country, you be cancer.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
From all quarters.
Yeah.
You hear chiefs, you hear political actors, you hear non-state actors, you hear all sorts of comments from everybody, market women, everybody. The politicians will equally make their comments, the flag bearers will make their comments. So we hear a lot, and we'll see a lot of things.
Yeah.
We'll see a lot of videos of steering wheel and those wielding keys and all that.
I remember from during Kufuor's campaign time, one of the adverts that made the rounds a lot was the advert that was draft. They were playing draft. Do you recall that advertisement?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, damn it. Yeah. So, like, things are going to happen. So I'm just cautioning. Let's be patient. I rest my case.
Okay, cancel. I'll do.
Let me say good morning to cherished viewers. He made this statement on the floor of Parliament.
Welcome address.
Okay.
Yeah.
Frankly, I do not know. I don't know the basis for which he has made this demand. I don't know. In elections, we have something called National Election Security Task Force over the years. The National Election Security Task Force comprises the police, the military, immigration, fires, all the security agencies. They come together to form that task force. It is always headed by the IGP. The task force is always headed by IGP. And it is always for intelligence ahead of election and then during and after, intelligence gathering, monitoring, and all that. So the military does not actually involve directly in the polling station monitoring of elections, security of elections. I do not. You have voted for some time now. Do you see military people standing at polling stations?
No.
You don't see them. So the security task force is actually formed for intelligence gathering because all manner of things happen before, during, and after elections. So that task force is supposed to coordinate information because they are, as he said, they are protecting the integrity of this country, and territorial integrity of this country. There's possibility of people infiltrating into this country during elections. And because they are policing the borders and all that, they have vital information that they share.
Yeah.
And that is why this security task force is formed. They are not directly involved in police station policing of handle. They are not. It is only when it is critical, when there's confusion somewhere, and the police is not able to manage the internal security, then they are called upon to
Yeah, just for
assist.
reinforcement.
Reinforcement. That is all. So I do not see why the basis for which that this military should stay away. I do not see. I don't know. If it is about what happened in Tachimasa, were military people involved?
Yeah, it
Yes.
was actually the military that did that.
Okay.
Taking myself.
So this is my take. I have said that, look, I do not see why political parties or a political party will always call supporters to mass at a coalition center. Look, if you are a political party with your soul and you have coalition agents, at least if you even have brilliant SS
If
people.
you have trusted
and brilliant and
yeah.
intelligent. At least if somebody completes even senior high school and the person is trusted, intelligent, and all that, you take three people, if the number required is 3, and you take them into that room where it's just a matter of adding the polling station results that every political party has. I don't see why you should incite supporters to be at those centers.
Yeah.
Why would you do that? Does it mean you don't trust the people you have entrusted to be in the coalition room? This has always been a problem. You look at where there have been confusion. It is a massing of people. That people go on radio to announce that political party supporters should be at a polling coalition center because somebody is trying to cheat. Look, what will be the effect? What will be this thing of those people outside the room? Are they going to enter the room to add the figures? What would be the need for them to amass there? If you don't have trusted people to collate your results for you, just additions, common additions. If you don't have trusted people to do that, what would the mass people, what would they do for you? And that's when they go, some of them unfortunately carry weapons. And they attack security people. Yeah. And I have always said, my father was a military officer, Second World War veteran. And one military, and my family, I had more than 12 people in the military. 12 people from my family, my uncles and all that. And me, myself, I was supposed to take over from an uncle who died, who was shot in the military by his peers. And I was supposed to replace him in the military. But I saw what my father, my family went through in the military. I vowed that I will not join that force. What they don't like is to say that for a civilian to treat them like they are also civilians. They are like, massa.
Like an non-entity.
Like non-entity. Military, they will show you where power lies.
Yes.
So dare not.
And even in the statement by the Ghanaian Armed Forces, he stated that they are equally human. And
Yes.
so when you attack them, they will retaliate.
You
in
remember
equal
what
measure.
happened at Tema East recently?
Yes.
They issued a simple statement this is just the first warning. And they were saying that if you're a man, come again. That's how the military. So the military, and it's that's the most, and one of the most disciplined. In fact, I would say they say that they are the most disciplined security agency in this country. And if you don't attempt to challenge their authority or you don't attack them, they will never attack you. They are so disciplined. There's this moral code is so clear. It's so stringent that if you joke as a military person, you lose your job. So I do not actually see the basis for this call at all. The military will continue to assist when it is necessary, and I know that. I know they will do that because I said the IGP is always in charge. He heads that election security task force, and he's always in charge. And if there is anything, they are accountable to him. Yeah. They are accountable to him, and so I don't know. And what has always been done will be done. But my advice, I have told my people, I was born in Sabo Zongo. I've told my people that if they tell you to mass up at collation centers and anything happens to you, if you are maimed, I will never visit you. If you are in the hospital, I will not. Because all those politicians who incite people to gather there, you never see their kids at those centers.
Thank you.
Some of their kids are all over the place, globetrotting. They live at posh hotels when they travel. They stay outside. Some of them, their kids are not even in this country. And yet they incite you.
And even those who live in this country, they live in very posh
posh places. You live in Sabon Zongo, where even when you are eating, you get a bit of, and you want to follow these people who are living comfortably. They maim you. What happened to all the people who are maimed? What they do is they organize something small for you, so they will take care of your case and all that, and that is the end of it. You suffer throughout. If you have left kids behind, your kids will suffer. They will continue to be used, because they will not be educated well, they will continue to be used as political pawns. And that's what these politicians do. And if you are, I tell my people, if you really want to also live a comfortable life, be wise. Don't follow these self-seeking politicians. People who want to, look, we all know what, anyway. So my advice is that, my advice is that if they say you should mass up at any collation centers, please don't go. Because they have representatives at those centers who collate their results for them. If they cannot collate their results for them, then they have no business contesting this election. Now to my God, very good. I don't know him anyway, the PC. For Menfi is yes. Look, we all know. And this, I have said, I've been noted that if we want to succeed in Galamsey fight, the two major political parties will have to be committed to it. If you have one party fighting and another party encouraging in both sides, you will never fight Galamsey. You will never succeed. And that's what we are experiencing now. Because whilst one party is saying this, the other one is saying the one thing, a different thing. So you cannot tell people to attack military people, even if you say they are fake. They are fake military people. What you do is that when people are engaged in illegal activities, you report such people to the relevant authorities, particularly the police. That's what you do. You don't call on people to attack people when they are there. And I think it is also a wake-up call to the security, the military hierarchy, that please also monitor your people. And we hear reports of military men actually harassing legal miners, legal small-scale miners on their concessions. And military should also take keen interest in what their officers do. But the call is not to let your people attack them when they go there. Report to them if you think that they are engaged in any illegal activity. Thankfully, I heard him, as you said, on another station, saying that he said fake. But as I said, it doesn't matter. Even if it is fake, report the person.
Because the people will not be able to
know who is. How are you going to identify?
How
are you going to identify who is a fake soldier, especially when they are in uniform?
A potential lawmaker should not be telling people to take the law into their own hands.
Yes.
It is unlawful. Fortunately, I heard him. He apologized. and he apologized for.
He was arrested. He's been granted bail.
Okay, he apologized on radio and said that I think he went too far, and we should take it. Nobody should encourage what he did.
Well, so Lily also, Speaker. Okay, so Speaker said what he said in the contest, and let's address our minds to that contest. He was talking about an initiative that Parliament is leading to engage the heads of all the constitutional bodies, SHRAJ, NCC, EC, among others, including Ghana Police Service. When he got to Ghana Police Service, he emphasized that, especially the police, because we don't want to see the military at polling stations or voting centers. Yes, there is a security task force headed by the IGP, because elections are held internally, and protection of law and order internally is the responsibility of the police. So that is understandable. The military, of equally part of the task force. What has happened over the years is that in certain areas, I was in Ewutu Senya East for the 2020 election. That's where I reported from. Every polling station I went to, in the name of patrols, you see uniformed military men and a woman who was holding a cane. And whoever voted in Ewutu Senya East will bear testimony to this fact, threatening to cane everybody, including an observer who wanted to take a picture of what was happening, including the military people there. Because some of them didn't want the identity to come out. Why? Some of them were actually hooded. Why? So that is the point, that even though we say that the military should only provide a backup support, what happens on election day is entirely different. They come in the name of patrol in their vehicles, and they sometimes intimidate people and create confusion. 8 people died during the 2020 elections. I dare say none of those bullets came from the police. None of those bullets came from the police. They came from the military.
Could we then say that it was as at the point of reinforcement?
It couldn't have been, because what were the problems that were happening? What were the challenges that the police could not attend to? Wilberforce related to the military providing bodyguard services. The law allows at least 2. The president, the vice president, for military bodyguard services.
Yeah,
that's what the law allows.
The speaker himself.
Unfortunately, I'm
Speaker
coming.
himself was guarded by the military.
Oh, I'm coming.
I don't know.
But that
I
was
don't know about that
why
law.
were the soldiers withdrawn? The soldiers were withdrawn citing the same reason that the speaker was not entitled to military protection. Were you not in this country?
It was a breach of the law.
That's the point. So you are emphasizing the point I'm making, right? But what we've seen is that we have attorney generals who are also bodyguarded by the military. We have chairpersons of electoral commissions bodyguarded by the military.
That's true.
Right? We have ministers bodyguarded by the military. We have cheapened our military, and that's the point. In fact, there's a caution from security analysts in this regard that for bodyguarding work, that's the last thing that we should reduce our military to. We are there. Now, the military are deployed, and they're actually armed. And mind you, I agree, the military is in charge of protection of our territorial integrity and protecting the country from external aggression. The military is not trained to be peacemakers. And this is explicit. A military man can never be a peacemaker, because to them, it's do before complain. To them, it's use force, and use force to restore whatever that has been broken. So we should limit the interface between the military and the civilians. It's basic, everywhere. That's why go to any civil country and find out whether military will be parading the streets on election day. No. Their security, that businessman who had business engagement to extent that he needed security, you cannot tell me that our police are so incompetent and they don't have firepower, even though they are allowed to hold weapons, to provide security to that businessman. But you see, it's perception. we are all made to perceive the fact that when you have military protection, then you are secure. Because they have much more firepower and they are no-nonsense people. That's true. But there are rules. That should be the job of the police. See, all the speaker is saying is that let's limit the usage of the military on election day, either at the voting center or at the collation center. I agree that people have no reason to go and mass up, but they always mass up when they have suspicions, and you cannot take that away from them. No, that's the reality. See, in the name of transparency, that's why we don't send polling stations.
We should not allow
to
this
rooms.
kind of lawlessness.
No, I'm coming. It's not lawless, my brother. Unless you become rowdy, unless you throw stones, gathering to observe processes is not an illegality anywhere. Where did that become illegality? It's not. In any case, it actually helps to sanitize the process and give it much more credibility. That when we're counting, why do you think when electoral officers are counting, they say 1, 2, 3? It's for transparency purposes. They actually encourage that. And per the laws of the EC, when voting is done and sorting is about to begin, they say go there and observe. They say after voting, you are encouraged to go home. But after polls have closed, come and observe. That's massing up. And that's legitimate. It's allowed. The point we're making is that whatever process we have to deploy to ensure that 8 people do not die needlessly just because we are going to choose a leader, we should deploy them. You heard Palgrave Boachi Dankwa yesterday on the same platform in your engagement with him. He mentioned that, yes, he disagrees that the military should not be deployed. But if it becomes necessary for the military to be deployed, they shouldn't be armed. And I think I agree with him. The military, many a times, are very trigger happy.
Okay.
Things they can stop, problems they can solve with their hands, they want to solve with weapons.
Let me just make an intervention and to ask that there is something in security circles that they call assessment.
Exactly.
And you assess all situations.
Yes.
And based on the assessment that you make as a security person, you want to say that, okay, I need this level of security in a particular situation. So, for example, you talked about the EC chair. The EC chair, since he took office, has had her own share of attacks.
It didn't start today.
It didn't start today.
Charlotte did. Even Afarijan.
So when persons who are responsible for security do their assessment about that individual, they realize that, okay, so there's heightened attention on this particular person, and they put certain security detail around the person, not for purposes of attack, but for purposes of deterrent
and protection.
So you will see that somebody has a military detail. His military detail is not so that he will shoot and kill anybody who comes around him. First of all, it acts as a deterrent for anybody who wants to come and attack such a person. Once you see that, okay, look, this person has this kind of security, you back off. So the first thing that the security person wants to achieve is that deterrence.
Right.
Once he achieves the deterrence, then all other things will follow.
I get you. I get you.
Yeah, so assessments are very important.
The assessment can be done, and that's why we have different types of units in the police service. We have formed police unit. We have SWAT. We have different. In fact, when President Kufuor came, he created a unit under the Ghana Police Service, and they were training people just for bodyguard services. If you remember, when he left office, the service was stranded as to what to do with those people. So you can't do that. The point we are making is that limit the usage of the military. Given our history as a country, the last thing you want to do is be bringing the military much more closer to us than they should be. And
Because that's what we've done with the police.
Yes. They are supposed to be our friends.
A lot of people see the police and they're unbothered.
Yeah.
This massing up, because that's something.
No, I'm coming. Let me end on the
Okay, because this is something that has been bothering me.
But
why people should be massing up police?
Let him land.
Yes. So on the Galamsey said, okay, so 2 things happened during this engagement. So Ernest Frimpong spoke, the NPP PC for Amenfi East, and then also Ochedaku Mensah, the Western Regional Minister, spoke. I think they announced a policy decision to all of us that we didn't know. And that policy decision is that government has disbanded all the task forces.
Yes.
So Operation Halt, Operation
Galamstop,
Galamstop, and what have you. They've been disbanded. I would have wished that it came from a centralized point.
But you know, yesterday, Palgrave, who is a spokesperson on governance and security, said it is not true.
Exactly. We are getting conflicting signals in that regard. So, and one breath, the regional minister is telling us that all those operations have been halted.
Who sits as the chair of the security in that region?
Exactly.
So he is privy to security information.
In Western region, which is a mining hub.
Yes.
And he knows. So, and it's been more than a week. No centralized communication from government. With the exception of what Palgrave said. We expect to hear.
What is his? His
government spokesperson on governance and security. Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Good. So that's where the challenge is. So we're getting conflicting signals. So you put that aside, and then listen to what the parliamentary candidate said. And it's heartwarming that he says on another network he had apologized. We gave him that same opportunity on Morning Star. He didn't apologize.
He didn't apologize.
He didn't see anything.
He only sought to say that, well, I was referring to legal miners and not illegal miners.
But he ought to know that we don't wash our face upwards. Right? You can't. That's one thing with our politicians. When they goof, they fail to realize that I goofed, I got it wrong, I apologize. Right? And remedy the situation. It would have saved all of us a great deal. Because, first of all, he accused us of putting out information that was wrong.
That
when
was
I say
fake,
us, I mean EID network.
Yes, because we put out the
information first.
Exactly. Then we had to come out with the video.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then the pushback is that, oh, I was only referring to legal miners. Will you want a platform, a WhatsApp platform to be created with the regional minister on that platform? Would you, as a parliamentary candidate on that platform, and ask the miners to send you audio onto the platform whenever soldiers come to their side, if they are engaged in legal activities? Will you do that? Which soldier will be deployed without the knowledge of the regional minister?
Exactly.
If they are engaged in legal activities. And in the same audio, you talk about the fact that when soldiers come on patrol and they are going, they can give them 300 cities, they can give them 500 cities, they can give them 1,000 cities. That's legal patrol. But if any other soldier comes to stop them, because the authority giving them to visit the site to stop Galamsey has been taken away, and that's the disbandment of the Galamstop and task forces, they should, if they hit them, they should beat them. They should not look at their uniform. And you come back, instead of you just admitting and conceding that.
He should be called upon.
Yes. And you tell us that their authority has been withdrawn. It's good, the military, even though the statement was, in a way, cowardice, so to speak, because the statement didn't even mention the parliamentary candidate. The statement didn't even mention the said meeting and what utterances were made there. The statement generally said that people should desist from inciting the public against the military.
But is that not enough, Ivy?
It's not enough. Because,
the
even before the statement
is a
came,
person too.
even before the statement came, one of their own had been attacked by WhatsApp.
In the same region.
Same region. He could have been killed. Since when did our military begin to shy away from calling people out? And indeed, in the same statement, the military could have told us as whether they are still involved in the fight or not. They didn't. Is the military involved in the Galamsey fight as we speak today or not? The military should tell us. The point we're making is that, and I agree, that both political parties must collectively ensure that this decadence, this rape of our environment ends, because we won't have tomorrow to rule over if we continue the way we are continuing. We are here lamenting about declining our fortunes of our cocoa owing to Galamsey. We are here talking about the amount of money we use in treating water. Galamsey. We are here talking about the depletion of our forest reserve. Galamsey. We've actually now, through the Act of Parliament, an ally, giving people the free license to enter forest and mine. Just a few years ago, that was a sacrilege to enter forest and mine. But now we are saying that no, if you get the needed license, go into forest and mine. I don't know what informed that. How much money do you need? What is it that we need? What are we going to use those resources for? Now that immediately we need to dissipate our forest reserves in the name of mining. Let's look back and collectively say that NDC, MPP, whatever. We need to protect our environment. It's as basic as it is. It's good he's been arrested. We all know it went nowhere. You know it went nowhere. But at least
He's been granted bail.
Yeah, we're taking the boxes. It's okay.
I like the way
Really?
I like the way he said he talked about politicians.
Yeah.
Because see, what we experienced in 2020 was when you had a certain president being pressured by pressure groups to fight Galamsey. And then you had a former president who wanted to come back to office saying that when I come, I would allow you to do Galamsey. That was the height of the craziness. And the election results of 2020 reflected that call that was made by this former president. Because all the people in the mining communities, if you assess the election results,
They either voted against
traditionally
or refused
would
to
have
vote.
voted for a certain, traditionally vote a certain direction. But because of this Galamsey position, they voted a different way. And it clearly reflected. So if we are going to fight Galamsey and we are going to take the politics out, then Ibrahim's call must be listened to from all sides.
I agree. But another reason was the burning of excavators.
These
Which
people, they will
people
not,
spoke against.
that's another topic.
People spoke against.
Let me
and
speak
now we've
about
all
my-
seen the light.
let me
Now
speak.
moving forward, we should stop burning it.
Me, I am still in support of the burning of the
okay.
Galam. I am.
Wow,
And
so
I
you're
am. One
telling
day, probably we'll come and speak about Galamsey,
Yeah,
fight
super.
for, against
Against
Galamsey.
Galamsey, yeah.
One day we'll have a topic on that.
Yeah.
About this massing of party supporters. There's a good reason why elections are held in the open, and there's reason why elections are collated in a closed door. There are good reasons. When elections are held in the open, as you said, when how do you call it? Election is over. People are allowed to come back and at a distance monitor the counting.
Yes.
That's why you hear the 1, 2, 3 and all that. And when they finish, all this is put on paper, what we call the pink sheet.
Yeah.
And each political party or any rep of, if it's an independent candidate, is given the pink sheet, a copy.
They have to actually sign.
They have to sign. If you don't sign, if you don't sign, right, it has no,
material, yeah.
it's irrelevant. But each political party, whether you sign or not, you are given a copy. It is these copies that all political parties, if you're a political party worth your salt, as I say, before you even get to the collation center, you should have your collated figures. You should have your collated figures. So what is this thing about? People should amass because your party is being cheated. What are they going to do there at the collation center? It doesn't make sense to me.
At all.
Why? You have brilliant people who are representatives who are just going to do ABCD, add figures. And you are asking mass, people you're supposed to mass there. What are they going to do? You go there and some people actually go there with cutlasses, stones and all. What does it, why? Which sinner society do you see this? Which civilized country? You were talking of civilized countries. Which civilized country will you see that happening? In fact, I have said that our electoral system is the most transparent throughout the world. It is the most, not even United States.
Hey.
And you see, one day, look, I am saying this because of experience I've gone through in elections.
But
Look, let me tell you.
Are you measuring that?
I am very serious on this matter that our electoral process is the most transparent, especially from election day, the processes that political parties go through to declare results. It is not happening in any country where every stage of every political party, from printing, from everything, you have reps there. So if you are a political party that you cannot have trusted people to police a ballot for you, you have no business being in politics. That's why I'm saying this business about, you know, I am pained because almost all the people who mass up there are my people. Me and Ibrahim. These are the Zongo people.
Well, my people too.
You are your people too.
And Over Forces people.
That's my people.
So what
These are
is
our
this?
people.
They are my
What
special
is this?
people now. Yeah.
Look, if they are massive, everybody agrees that they should mass up there, those heads, the secretaries of the political parties, the chairpersons, the flag bearers, they have, some have plenty kids. Let them send their kids to go and monitor if that is what they want. And not to call innocent people to go and lose their lives. Why?
And ironically, a
You know-
number of them send their children out Before election.
Before elections. That is the most. Charlie, this morning, this
It's my birthday. No fire.
this mass. Look, I am always livid when it comes to
but-
this mass,
but if
calling
you-
people to mass up as collision centers.
If you listen to Ibra, if you listen to Audu, what I am hearing Audu say is that he's putting himself in the shoes of his own people.
Yeah.
With the kind of exposure that he has, he's wondering why his own people will be his own people will be so vulnerable and be at the mercy of
these politicians.
Because he's looking at himself.
They have killed somebody
So-
at Blekuma Central where I voted. Look, I've told you that I have voted in this country since 1992. Lily Emenya Kodasa. I have voted since 1992. And I've seen the way our electoral processes have gone through. When we have opaque ballot boxes throughout, transparent.
It
Look,
has evolved.
as I sit today, I didn't even know what I used in voting in 92. Because we didn't even have a valid register. We used a district assembly election register to do. There was no a proper register we used in 1992. We had this opaque. In fact, some people even claim that when they entered, the first person said when he entered, the ballot box was already full. We had all this. We had gone through these processes in this country, and we have cleaned our electoral. Look, every process, every
And
election
now we have
process.
digitalized every step. Yeah.
So why would people, common sense, why would you, adding of
Nonetheless-
figures,
nonetheless,
would lead to death of
in
people?
2012, we went to court that a party was cheated. In 2020, we went to court that a party was cheated, meaning there's that possibility
Yes,
that
but,
a party
but
could
what
be
you also
cheated.
need to know,
and
Ibrahim,
that's your
I
mind to
agree.
that.
I agree with you. But
Yeah.
if you look at 2012, 2013 petition,
Yeah.
and the unintended consequences that have arisen after that process, and again 2020, 2021, and you look at what has arisen, all of those processes have contributed to the kind of system we have.
But
Such
no-
that
but
today,
no foolproof.
yes,
It
as
cannot
that
be.
as at
There's no
today,
system
see,
that
when
is
we
foolproof.
recently did our voters registration exercise, how many new people registered? Almost 1 million people.
Yes.
Just voters registration exercise over a period of 3 weeks. So all I'm just saying is that, see, this our electoral system over the last 30 years of our experiment, or 32 years now of our experiment, has so evolved that we have gotten to the place where it is very difficult for the chairperson of the Electoral Commission to sit at her office
Where the final.
just
And
across here
manipulate.
and
I'm not sure anybody has said that.
and determine who
Yeah,
becomes
who- people
president
have said
of
that.
Ghana.
Oh no.
People have said
No,
that.
see, everybody has said that. During the voting process. And let me tell you what happens. And you see, we are all journalists. We know this. There is manual verification, there's electronic verification. If we are able to
If you want to turn this thing
administer
into
only
election,
electronic verification, right? Only electronic verification, then the argument they are making will make sense. But here we are with a system that makes use of both, because it's not everybody who can be verified electronically. Good. If you are verified manually, there's that possibility that somebody might vote rather than you. And that possibility is there. And it takes place at the polling station. So I agree that you need trusted polling agents. But vigilance can never be taken away from an election. So if people want to be
so what are
vigilant
the
without
agents
being
supposed
violent,
to, what are
listen
the
to me.
agents supposed to do
Listen
there?
to me.
I have been
If
a party
people-
agent
people
before
want
for
to be
2
vigilant,
elections.
If people want to be vigilant, allow them to be. But what we will not support is people being violent. And I'm saying that when people want to become violent, the police are well equipped to deal with them. Simple. How difficult is
If
this?
you are talking of massing up people
police can deal with them.
at coalition centers, you sitting here, I dare say that you are encouraging this.
No, I'm
violence.
not. I'm saying that if you become rowdy,
You have no
and you become
business
violent,
being at
the
the
police will deal with you.
Right, coalition center.
The police will deal with you.
Ibrahim, do you agree that in our country there are flashpoints?
Oh yes.
Yes. And
Election.
some of these flashpoints require a certain level of security,
No two ways about that.
based on the assessments that are done by our security people.
No two ways about that.
Yeah, so, like I've said earlier, there are some places in our country of a necessity. The security people will have to put military people there as a deterrent.
Guess what?
And it doesn't matter how police are trained and how police are equipped and ready and all that. If you want to achieve that deterrence, You have to paint the picture.
Because we have created this police as your friend, and so the citizen sees the police as a fellow citizen. Even in the face of the law, even when they are accosted, they see the police. Oh, my brother, you are my brother. But the moment they see a military person, even when the person is just in a camo shop
that's the
and
problem.
walking around.
And that's the problem I'm talking about.
But
That
it's
is-
not,
that's the
Ibrahim, I don't want you to see it.
conscientization
Yes, I
problem.
don't want you to see it as a problem.
It is.
See, this is what I think.
It is a problem.
What I think
because
is
we
that
cannot militarize.
Okay. Yeah, so we cannot.
Yes.
But we are not militarized. What we are saying is that the reality in that location we are talking about is that if you don't deter, they will misbehave. So for the security person who is doing his analysis and wanting to prevent the misbehavior, he will say that I will deter. And it is that deterring that we now try to make it look like it is a problem because the military are supposed to be in the barracks and you brought them out of the barracks and they are walking on the street. But the security analyst doesn't make assumptions. He's looking at the security situation and saying that, look, this is so volatile that if I don't put my men there to deter, I will have trouble. So he puts the men
This is an
there.
election. The context of a comment is an election.
Yes.
No war.
It's not war. It's
Okay.
election. We are not talking about war. But we are not talking about war at all. But I'm just saying that if I know, like I'm sitting in the security office, I'm national security coordinator, and I know that at GHOne police station A, in this particular area,
It's a flashpoint.
it's a flashpoint, and I have picked intelligence that the people we are suspecting are likely to behave are massing themselves to misbehave on election day, and I am doing an assessment and deploying. You say that I should bring an immigration officer who is not wielding any gun to come and
I'm
be
missing police.
no, I'm just saying.
I
but
get you.
In election, we deploy everybody.
Yeah.
The police and the military, and we deploy everybody. Prisons. Where I voted last election, the security man there was a prisons officer. Because it was Jowulu.
Okay.
It's seen as peaceful. So it was a prisons officer. He wasn't having any gun. She was just a woman.
Yeah. That's I also was.
Yes.
Yes, that's where I
a
wanted
rhetorical
to.
question.
We
We'll
have
go
move
to the
on.
next.
Yeah.
If the people don't mass up at the coalition center, will you see a heavy security presence there?
That's a rhetoric question.
Let's go.
Okay. So
It's not everywhere that the military had people massing up. Tema West, the military were there at the coalition center. The military were there at the coalition center. Even Techiman South was not a flashpoint. The EC gave us the
But
flashpoint.
people mass up in all these places.
The point I'm making is that Techiman South was not even a flashpoint. But look at
No,
what
why
happened
you
there.
all
People
the
died.
places you mentioned, people mass up.
gentlemen.
Look, the reason why I'm pained,
Let's-
the guy they killed at Ablekuma Central, that young man, this is a young man who, look, everybody knows a guy to be, look, the guy so respectful. The guy apparently went into police, he had to run away from police because of bullet, fear of bullet. Unfortunately, it was bullet that killed him because of this marching up.
I get you. See, the thing is that, and Reverend,
Look,
related to the
let
fact that
us
the security
prevent them
analyst,
from marching
the
up at
security
coalition
analyst,
centers.
will look at the assessment and say this. A prominent security analyst, Colonel Festus Abuaje, Adam Bona,
Masa, can we go on?
Professor Kwesieni. I'm coming.
Okay.
Professor Kwesieni.
I
The point I'm
want to
making
move
is
on to our
that
next topic.
analysts have actually indicated that let's not.
We are all
allow the
analysts.
military-
You are an analyst.
And that's what-
analyst.
let's not allow the military to be playing the roles they are playing during
they-
elections.
They have shared
We can't
their
do
they
without
have
them.
shared their
also
let's-
sharing
let's-
our
let's-
opinion,
let's-
yes.
Let's talk about Dumso. Great Core and ECG says that we're going to be experiencing Dumso for 3 months.
We are not going
3
to
weeks,
court.
yeah.
We are not going to court.
Okay, so let's do
Oh, no, please,
because of time.
Dumso
Dumso is important for you.
is
Okay, so
important to
Dumso,
us.
I think quickly, just 1 minute. Okay, so I think that they say there's a maintenance work in Nigeria, right? And so therefore, WAPCO is announcing that there will be less gas supply from Nigeria. Government should just find money and buy crude because we have combined cycle. Our plants are combined cycle. You either use gas or you use crude. Our crude is expensive, we know, but government should just find money and buy crude. Yeah, but we should also prepare ourselves that for the next 3 weeks, you have intermittent power supply. It's as simple as that.
I also saw ECG with a statement
ECG
that
agreed.
even though that is the case, you'll find a way of reducing the effect, the
That's
impact. But the bottom line, government should find some money. Look, Doomsday light of Charlie, it's not easy. I heard IB on a different platform talking about
Morning
mosquitoes,
Star.
mosquitoes and all that.
How do
Look,
you have a field day?
and a field day. Look, in fact, the government will. So I say that Doomsday itself does not help government.
Yeah.
Doomsday in itself doesn't help government at all if you continue. So it's in the interest of government to find money to get fuel to power the generators. Doomsday will not help this government, so they should be aware.
I think I think I associate myself with the comments of my two friends here. You haven't made any comments, so I cannot attribute it to you.
She will.
Well, I made my point about Doomsday a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, I don't think that Doomsday is anything that anybody should be excited about.
Yeah.
Because when the light goes off, it goes off for both those who are MPP and those who are NDC.
Sure.
And so it is not a political matter, even though in our country we have made it a political matter.
It is, actually.
Yes. So we've gotten to the place where when I hear, in fact, one of the things that I do every day is to check the price of oil on the international market. I check it because when it is going down,
I always see it on your website.
Yes. When it is going down, I'm happy. When it is going up, I'm getting sick. So it's the same for electricity. When I hear that there's going to be maintenance, so because of that, we are going to have lights off, I start crying inside me. Because the worst experience for me is when I branch off my junction at Tantra Hills and I'm driving down the rough road and I see that there's light off.
Light off, my goodness.
Like I start feeling depressed right
Your
from the
day
junction.
is always gone.
My evening is finished.
It's finished.
Yeah, so, and for people like us, we work morning, afternoon, evening, midnight. So
we need constant power supply.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that the mitigating factors which the ECG says it can put in place is what we are looking
It's
for.
the money. It's just the
so
money.
that
Find the money.
so that we can.
It's gas supply challenge. It's money we need. Yeah.
Money.
It's a period of 3 weeks. So for the 3 weeks when they are doing the maintenance, if we can make contingency plans, so far, at least in my area, the Doomsday were experiencing some a month ago.
It's
highly
there,
improved.
but it is improved.
Yes.
Doomsday is there, but it's
So
improved.
if not for anything at all, let's maintain it as it is right now
and not worsen it.
and not worsen it.
No, we want it
Hey,
over.
you want it in its current. I don't
no,
want
no,
it at
no.
all.
What he's saying is
No, I'm
that
just
it
saying
should
that
not be
currently-
worse than what we have.
Currently, the power is stable, at least from where I live. I haven't had lights off for the past 2 or 3 weeks or so.
The lights have been going off this week.
Yeah, it has. It
Yeah.
has.
At
My
least
area,
for the evenings that all the past 2 weeks, I think, it's 2 weeks. I haven't had
Yeah.
the lights of this in the
look,
evenings.
let the government also check the dollar. He was talking about, he was checking about the crude. It is not dependent on only the price of crude. It's also dependent on our foreign forest. The dollar, the exchange rate. It is very critical.
Let's
so
quickly
let
touch on
the government fight that one.
the showdown in court, Attorney General versus
Okay.
Japa.
How many minutes do we have?
We have 5 minutes to go, so
Yeah,
let's quickly touch
so
on
I'll
it.
take 1 minute. You can take two. So 1 minute. So it's good that this played out in court. We sat here. In fact, we've been talking about this for the past 3 weeks.
Yes.
Right. And I had mentioned that we will never know the strategy of the defendant because the issue of the audio, why it was not sent to court and what have you. After all that, it's been sent to court. It was opposed by the state, the admissibility. The judge admitted it. And it was instructive to note that the judge had actually mentioned that she had detected a strategy from the team of Japa and NATO Force that was going to be like one day, one audio, or one court sitting, one audio. So
all
One
at once.
question, one evidence.
Funny in Abra.
So yeah, there's a lump everything together, present because indeed there are more audios, right? And yesterday in Japa's testimony during cross-examination, a number of revelations were equally made, right? And I think everybody should wait and listen to the cross-examination. It looks like Godfrey Adame has taken good counsel because we sat here last week specifically, I had mentioned that this could be a plea from the judge that give me the freedom to prosecute or try this case the best way I deem fit. given all the controversy surrounding your engagement with the third accused. After the last 2 court sittings, Governor Dami was not there, even though he had openly come out to say that despite the strong advice from the presiding judge, he will still prosecute the case. He decided to stay out. It's good.
Okay.
It's
Ivy,
good.
you said
It's
1
listen-
minute.
So I'm done. Yeah, let's see how it plays out.
Lily, the tape has been admitted. Admissibility of the tape does not mean that it will add any value to the case. We have seen it. What value or this thing, weight, is the judge going to put on this? Particularly when in the first, she said the reason why she admitted this second one, the same reason she admitted it when she was going to determine the mistrial. And if I were the defense, I would know that that case on the tape has already been determined in the first instance. If I were, because they has been determined already. So this admissibility, I don't see the lawyers, you say probative value. I don't know what the weight they will put on this admissibility, these tapes. I just hope. He was saying that we should wait for cross-examination. I just hope that Jakpa's testimony will not be fanciful tales at the end of these trials. They may, I just hope, they are not fanciful tales at the end of this trial. Because it is not just parroting what you think you know or what you see. It is the evidence that you bring to bear that will determine your case. I have said it last time that we have witnesses who have come before court. They have made all their pronouncements. They have made all their comments. They have dramatized. They have done all manner of things. At the end of this, you'll see that it was even better they did not even come before court. I hope Jata is not one of those people. Japa. Japa is not one of those. Because now he has a field day. He's doing all manner of things, ridiculous things about even respected people of Central Region. I hear there are many tapes, and so I was hearing that you actually heard something to that effect, tape. That was it. I also hope that there is no any voice manufacturing company.
The court will determine that.
Exactly. That is why when people say that a tape has been admitted, it means that the judge is saying that it is not doctored because it has been admitted. When, at what time do you determine whether a tape is doctored or not? It is not just
have to
admissibility.
go through scrutiny.
And doctor, when you say something is doctored, it has a scientific meaning. Somebody will have to check, go through, and see. That has not been done. So this thing about it, because it's admitted, it concludes that it's not doctored.
Okay.
It's here
Because
not
people say
there.
it will not be admitted. That's the point.
No.
Okay.
I have said it here that
You have to
I have
let's
said it
go.
here. This tape is.
Yesterday, I sat in the court from 12 noon till a little before 4,
Wow.
listening to the whole presentation by Mr. Richard Jakpa. And just when I was leaving, a certain scripture came to my mind. And it's
Let's hear it.
Isaiah chapter 24, verse 6b. It says that, but I say, I waste away, I waste away.
Hey.
Woe is me, for the traitors have betrayed. With betrayal, the traitors have betrayed. And that's a scripture.
Preach on.
And from all indications, with the testimony that was given and all that, I see a man who probably is wounded. And it's attempting to go down with other people. Because from all indications, Justice Yonikolendi's name was mentioned several times. And he refers to him as his cousin. And I feel betrayal.
The last time I said over trusting, and Lily didn't take kind to that.
I feel betrayal, and I feel for Justice Yonikolendi. He's somebody that I have admired for many years. I have just admired even the sound of his voice and his law. I've just admired it. But I just feel betrayal. And I also see
By who?
I see
Betrayal
betrayal
by
on
who?
the side of
Japa.
Richard Jakpa.
Okay.
What is the relationship?
That's
He
his cousin.
refers to the justice as his cousin.
Yes.
So why are you worried?
Well, maybe I shouldn't.
Are you sure Justice Kulendi didn't know that all these things were going to be said in court by Japa?
Good question.
Yeah, because if you say it's a betrayal, are you sure for him as a justice of his magnitude, worth his salt, do you think his brother will go to court and admit all these things in open court, and he will not have knowledge of it?
Okay, so
As a cousin to
Yeah, well, so they don't say cousin, they say brother.
Yeah. He
I
related to me.
have not been appointed to speak for and on behalf of anybody in this matter. But I am just saying that I was sitting in the courtroom listening to
Lily
all
is
the
simply saying that it may not be a betrayal.
Exactly,
It
you are
may
saying
be-
it's a betrayal
So
because no, Wilberforce.
Yeah.
In the instance that okay, you are my brother or you're my cousin, and then you are coming to say something on GHOne TV. I spoke to you in the morning. You think I wouldn't know what you're going to discuss on GHOne TV?
Well,
Especially on a particular matter.
Are you sure your wife does not know the stance you are going to take on a number of the issues you're going to discuss here?
well, so yeah, you are asking very interesting questions, but I'm still entitled to my opinion and what I think, isn't it?
Betrayal.
Yeah. So I've read the scripture to you, and then I also saw a lot of politics.
That one.
And
that
the
one.
politics-
It's a whole day.
Yes, the politics of the testimony yesterday is quite riveting, and you can just tell that there was a lot of coaching.
From who?
Coaching. Oh, if you have a
The lawyer?
the lawyer.
But that's
because-
how it's supposed to be.
Yeah. So there's a
But who
coach
goes
you rather
to,
than your lawyer?
Who goes to court without coaching
yeah.
by
So
their
so
lawyer?
that's what I'm just telling you. That the reason why I'm saying all this is because there is a substantive charge, which is the charge of causing financial loss to the state.
Yeah.
The court has established a prima facie case and say that if you look at all the sides of this matter, the state has lost something. So those who were the actors involved, they should just have the opportunity to explain what their actions and inactions did to get us to where we are. The matter is so simplified. Though. So if I am an accused person and the court has simplified this for me like this, when I come, the only thing I'm going to focus on is the fact that this thing that you are accusing me of is not true. Oh. I didn't do it.
That's all.
All that you are saying is not true.
That's all.
And that's because what you said I did A. No, that's not what I did. I rather did this.
That's all.
You said I caused loss. No, I didn't cause loss. I did my work well. That's what I will focus on. But all this talk, including politics of
Including
insults
people
and-
can be.
boards and all those things. See, I beg you.
Really, if I were defendants in this matter, I'll stop some people from communicating on my behalf.
It is not good. It doesn't look good.
I'll stop some people
But
from communicating.
We cannot do anything about it but to wait. See, I'll tell you what. Even in the course of this trial, Justice Sewa, when she was invited to give a ruling on mistrial and all that, he gave us 40 pages. That means that you are dealing with a very serious judge who knows her law.
Yes, she knows her onions.
Yes. So please, we will leave it to Justice Sewa on the judgment day. She will give the rule, and that is the final.
Yes.
You can go to court of appeal and appeal it, but the court of first instance, which is the trial court, when she delivers her judgment, you can appeal it at the court of appeal. If it doesn't go to your favor, you can go to the Supreme Court and appeal again. But that first court of instance, which is the High Court, I trust in the judge that she will deliver a fair judgment.
Okay.
And that's what I'm looking forward to. In fact, I'm tempted not to even go to the court again until Judgment Day.
Okay, gentlemen, thank you very much.
Press conferences
I'll see you again, usual suspects, next week. That's Wilberforce Asare. He's political editor, Sasi Radio. Audu Mahama is managing editor of the custodian newspaper, and Ibrahim Alassan is my boss. He's the head of the political desk here at the IB Network. My name is Lily Mohammed. We are back shortly after this video. Stay tuned in. Welcome back to the show. This is GH today here on GHOne. It's now time for some lifestyle and entertainment. So on Lifestyle Entertainment this morning, it's a friendly match. It's an in-house thing. For those of you who want to celebrate your fathers this Sunday, there are so many things you can do. And a special one that you can do this Sunday is visit the Soho Bar. There's a comedy night by one of our very own Genesis. He says it is the book of Genesis.
That's right.
Good morning, Genesis. How are you?
Good morning, and good morning to cherished viewers across the globe. I'm happy to be here again. And yes, it's the book of Genesis. Yeah, the book of Genesis is actually a comedy show put together by my team every year. And this year happens to be a very unique edition, themed Naira versus City. We talked about
Why Naira versus City?
Yeah, because for me, I started comedy in Nigeria. When I was in Lagos, Nigeria, that was when I started my comedy career. I was, they used to call me Baba Ghana then, like, I was a foreigner there. But
Ghana.
yeah, that's exactly how you pronounce it. And then I came back home, I realized that even in my home land, Ghana, I'm a more foreigner than I was in Nigeria.
When you were in a
when I was in
land,
the foreign land. So the Naira versus City is talking about the journey so far from Nigeria, transitioning into the comedy industry and everything my experiences so far. And it's coming up this Sunday, 16 June.
Now that you mentioned the comedy industry in Ghana, how far have we traveled? Have we improved over the years?
Yes. I would say that when I came back to Ghana in 2014, I didn't do comedy at all.
Why?
Because everything was far below what I used to know in Nigeria, the energy, the way the crowd support, the public support comedy and all of that. I came back home and we were nowhere close. We were not even 10%. Yeah, and then I began to see how we gave reference to foreign comedians more than our own. So I just stayed back for like 4 years. I didn't do anything until some of my friends began to pull me up again, like, Charlie, let's do it. So in the last 4 years, I would say that comedy has grown in Ghana and is doing very well. And we comedians can actually see a better future for comedy in Ghana than we used to see in the past. So I know very well that this industry, currently at least, after the music industry, the comedy industry is the next big thing. We are far ahead of the movie industry now in this country, because how many movies are we producing in this country? Well, there are a lot of shows. Even on Father's Day, there are 2 comedy shows that same Sunday. So that shows that, and people are coming out. People are really coming out. That shows how far comedy has grown in Ghana in the last few years. And we comedians are excited. Though, 3 factors actually. The creative arts industry as a whole need some huge restructuring, investment and all of that. And then the media also need to give more attention to us comedians because of the kind of the hard work we put into it. And the other factor is the fact that we are underpaid. So these 3 key things that we need investment. We need people to invest in the industry. It's a thriving industry, and we need media to always give us the attention, because we work hard. We work really, really hard. I was up all night writing jokes because I know on Sunday I have to.
Oh, so you have to write your jokes. It doesn't come in the spur of the moment.
The same joke I was writing while I was up all night yesterday stroke today are jokes that I've written before. I have to rewrite, restructure, call few colleagues and like, Charlie, what do you think about this material? We restructure, we tear paper and rewrite all over and over again. So it's a whole lot. And the how do I put it? The hard part of the of our industry is that a musician, for instance, will go to the studio, producer will give him a beat and like, Charlie, listen to this beat. And then you now begin to write your own songs and put on it. And before they see your face, the song fly. But comedians, we will write, rewrite, and write and write and rewrite again. And then we come to live audition, we'll do the joke. And while we are doing the while we are doing the performance, one part of our heart is on the audience. God, let them catch it, let them catch it. The other side is afraid that, like, hey, if they don't catch it, I need to find a backup quickly. So it takes a whole lot to put a joke, one set together. And if I crack a joke today here and you hear it, tomorrow when you hear that same joke, you're like, oh, I've heard it before. You see, it's not funny anymore because you've heard it before. That shows the level of hard work we put into this business.
You're wearing two watches, I see. Is one for Ghana, one for Nigeria?
Exactly. Exactly. This one is for Nigeria. This is
That's Nigerian
fatherland.
time?
This is fatherland. This is motherland. It's 1 hour different.
Interesting.
This is motherland.
Motherland is
Black
Ghana. Black Star, okay. Now this is what? The white. The
yeah, you know
silver.
they've changed the national anthem in Nigeria.
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
so that's why I'm wearing this one because we don't. Even the president and the Senate, they can't sing it. Yeah. But I understand why they changed it though. You know, there was a part of the old national anthem that says. The labors of our heroes past shall not be in vain. Yeah, so they had to change it because it's in vain already, and the heroes are angry. So they have to change the anthem because it's like anytime they say the labor of our heroes past, the heroes look like. So yeah, that's why Tinubu is an ancestor himself, so he understand the language of the hero. So I think he heard them communicating, and he's closer to them than I am.
Anyway, let's talk about the 16th as a Soho Bar.
Yeah, it's a Soho bar at Marina Mall, and the good thing is. The next day is Salah, you don't have to go rush to go to work. I have my friends. Everybody on bill were carefully selected. They are my very good friends and people that I understand their kind of stories, the kind of jokes they tell is something I can relate to. They have similar experience like myself. So I have DKB, I have Parrot Mouths, a Nigerian. I have Parara, coming all the way from Nigeria. I have ID James Brown, one of Ghana's biggest exports. I have Chemical and Puntogo on the bill. Yeah, and I have Stati, a very amazing musician who is featured most of our Ghanaian artists, Dope Nation, EL, Familia and Co. So yeah, it's a show that you should come expecting to have maximum fun.
How do I become a participant? How do I have the fun?
Yeah, so there are tickets selling at different mall. If you go to Accra Mall, the mobile outlet, you will see tickets. Our ticket there selling for 100 cedi regular and 200 cedi VIP. And then for reservation, you can call the Soho Bar or you call our numbers on the flyers anywhere. Just go on social media. You see type Book of Genesis, not the Book of Genesis. Book of Genesis, and it will bring it live, and then you can see the details there. You can purchase online. You can purchase.
How much does it cost?
The regular is 100 Ghana cedis. The VIP is 200 cedis, and the table you call and you make your own reservations.
Book a reservation for the table.
Yeah.
Okay. What time does it start?
The doors open exactly 7 o'clock, and doors shut exactly 8 o'clock because that's when the show starts. Yeah, okay. So it's going to be a great night. Everybody should come expectant.
Will there be music performances?
Yeah, Stati will be performing, and there are also some wonderful people that are even not on the bill.
Surprise acts, huh?
Yeah, they're surprise acts.
Okay.
And it's a star-studded event, so everybody should come.
Absolutely, everybody should.
And I always say this, that, see, for the side chicks who Zaddy has been sponsoring. If you need more trips to Dubai and all of this place, use your own money, surprise Zaddy with the ticket on Father's Day to the Book of Genesis, so that you can win Zaddy for the rest of the year for more trips and all of that. And for everybody, every woman, your boyfriend, your father, your brother, every man in your life, buy a ticket for them. Let them have experience. Enough of the boxer shorts and singlets. It's becoming too much.
See, the man in my studio said,
I heard the producer say, yeah, but it's true. How I got to know that you women, you've had a new plan of buying the boxers was because if you buy, there are single boxes, there are Zara boxers you buy single, and they are more expensive than the one you buy 6-in-1, 3-in-1. So every year I get one boxer and one singlet. But I realized that what I got this year was the same color with the one I got last year. So how do I know it was part of that year? I've added weight. So I put up the boxer and it wasn't going. That's how I caught my woman. This one, no more boxers.
Okay.
So please buy.
Your woman needs to revise her notes. I'm not sure I've ever bought a boxer before.
You've never bought? Oh, then you're a different kind of
Yes,
lady.
I don't think
Have you bought a car?
Well, I will buy a car.
You will.
On his 50th.
Every woman says, on what?
On his 50th.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he has a lot. So on his 50th. Yes,
On his 50th, you
I'll
buy
him a car.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what else do you buy if you don't buy boxes?
So I buy a lot of things.
Okay. So now you have a Father's Day. Okay, for you, you have a VIP ticket. So you don't have a problem.
Yes. So I can come with him.
No, you will buy for him.
Okay, so I'll buy a table.
Oh, that's good.
So I can sit with him and we can have some good time.
That's awesome.
Anyway, thank you very much, Genesis.
And right there, he will ask you, my dear, what do you want?
Order me the car, Nebema. Thank you very much, Genesis. So that's Book of Genesis coming up the 16th of June on Sunday at Soho Bar. Gate opens at 7 p.m. 8 p.m. we close the gate so the show can start. It's 100 cedis for regular, 200 cedis for VIP, and you can call to book a seat or reserve a table for you and that special one, or you and your siblings. I mean, you could have 4 brothers and you come with them. You never know. Thank you very much, Genesis, for coming. Still talking about Father's Day. Well, I have 2 tickets to another program it's called Father's Time by BK2 Studio. If you want to also, well, it's during the day. So when you are done during the day, then in the evening, then you can go. Yes, it's on Sunday, but it's in the morning. So in the morning, you can pass through Father's Time. Then in the evening, you go for Book of Genesis. I mean, it's a packed day for you because the following day you're not going to work, so you can rest. But if you want these 2 tickets, please call the number 059-855-2935. 059-855-2935. Tell them why they need to admit you and your father to the Father's Time. That's it for Lifestyle. We're back shortly.
Okay, here's a recap of the words we brought you this week.
On Monday, we brought you BASK, that's Basque. On Tuesday, we brought you SCRUTINEER, scrutineer. Then on Wednesday, we had AFFRAY, that's AFFRAY, afraid. And on Thursday, we had BECOMING, becoming.
I want to find out. So we're back here, of course, GH Today right here on GHOne television, and this weekend is going to be exciting. I mean, for those of you who are seeking to get married, you're planning your weddings, you're asking yourself a lot of questions. What do I do? What do I need to get? I know people have a budget of $800 million for their weddings and all of that, but you need to know, because if you don't, then you'll be making the wrong choices. And that's why we're having this conversation for you now, because this weekend is going to be very, very exciting. So I'll quickly move to my guest, two lovely ladies who have joined me in studio to help me talk about what is happening this weekend so that you can also get to be a big part of it. And we have Project Director Abokuma Ellis. I just love that name. It's my first time hearing it. You're welcome. All right. And I also have the head of marketing at Labadi Beach Hotel, Mrs. Ikwazara.
Morning.
How are you doing?
Very well, thank you.
You look amazing, both of you.
Thank you.
Great. So let me start with you. Yeah. I mean, what are we expecting this weekend? Saturday, Sunday. Tell me what's happening.
Well, this Saturday and Sunday is the Radiance Wedding Fair. It's a wedding fair that's happening at the Labadi Beach Hotel. It's a premium bridal fair which will have a lot of Ghana's top elite vendors exhibiting their wear. Now, it's a 2-day event filled with so many activities. It is not just a fair where you come and then you just leave. We have curated in such a way that you have to stay the whole day at the Labadi Beach Hotel and experience not only the fair, but the venue as well, which is Labadi Beach Hotel. So among the many things we have planned, we have, apart from the exhibition, which has Ghana's over 30 exhibitors who are all very relevant to wedding and event planning, we also have a gifting bar. The gifting bar is open to everybody. All you have to do is literally come and spin the wheel and then you win a gift. And the people who are sponsoring the gifting bar are exhibiting as well. So they're also gifting bar exhibitors. Now, apart from the gifting bar, we have workshops. We have 2 workshops happening on Saturday and then 2 happening on Sunday. And each of these workshops are led by 4 premium wedding vendors. One of them is going to be discussing wedding planning, which is me, my company actually. So apart from everything, my company is Purple 12 Events. We've been in the industry for planning weddings and events for about 15 years. So we are planning the Radiance Fair. What's better company to plan
I mean, 15
a wedding
years experience,
fair? Exactly.
Clearly.
So we know exactly what a bride needs and what she needs for her wedding. So we're bringing all of that at the Radiance Fair this weekend at Labadi Beach Hotel.
Right. So you talk about what? A workshop where you're going to be talking about how to plan and all of those things. Tell me more about it, because I'm getting excited. I'm already married. I don't know why I'm getting excited about it.
Maybe for your vow renewal, because all of the vendors also...
We're doing 8 this year, so maybe in 2 years.
Exactly, exactly. Because a lot of the vendors also double for other events. They can do other events apart from weddings, so you can still come for that.
Definitely.
So we have one workshop, like I mentioned. I will be leading the wedding planning workshop, which is going to teach brides and grooms and people planning their weddings and events pretty much how to plan the event so you're not overwhelmed, how to budget, questions to ask your vendors, you know, just valuable information that will help you. Another workshop is the design workshop. Now, they will be talking about, you know, putting the holistic design of the events together. So not just the event design or the decor, but what to wear, what flowers you should use, how to pick colors, and all of that. So at the end of that workshop, you will leave with a mood board, which you can share with your vendors as you're planning. A third workshop is the Present Perfect workshop. So with that one, we're going to be discussing, the facilitator will be discussing gifting. You know, usually during the traditional wedding, people have the dowry items and gifts.
And it's wrapped
beautifully. Yes, so she's going
to
show you how to wrap that in a very, very lovely way. With the gift. And then she'll also be sharing the relevance of all of these gifting ideas and why they are done, because we do need to also share the culture and the rich culture of Ghanaian weddings to the world. And then we have a final workshop, which is the etiquette workshop. And that one is going to show us about the wedding etiquette. So what's to do on the wedding day, when to send invitations, where to stand. Do you stand to the left or to the right of the father or the bride when you're walking down the aisle? So all the unspoken rules of a wedding that will be shared with them. So they're very, very rich, very informative sessions that we'll be having at the wedding fair on Saturday.
And all of this is happening at the Labadi Beach Hotel.
All of this happening.
So let me ask Ekwa, what have you done? Why is Labadi Beach becoming a hub for weddings? When people talk weddings, they want to look at the Labadi Beach Hotel. Well, what exactly have you been doing?
Yes, Labadi is, I always say, a tropical paradise.
Tropical paradise.
You know, it was the first 5-star hotel in Ghana. We are going to even be 33 years at the end of August. So Labadi has everything to offer brides and other packages too. We have, you know, we're on 14 acres of sprawling land, lovely gardens. We are neighbors with the Atlantic Ocean. We have the colonial style building and then the modern one, all built together. Labadi caters for all these events very well because we're experienced. The staff, we have rich experience with the staff. You know, I always say the building is there, the land can be, the gardens can be so beautiful,
Right.
but without the staff, we have experienced staff, very accommodating. Labadi Beach Hotel, the staff listen, they make you feel at home.
Yeah.
It's a homely environment, so people feel very comfortable there. And even though we are 5-star, very like, you know, like the impression is that we're very expensive.
Yeah.
We're also very flexible.
Right.
You can have a wedding for 5-10 people, and you can also have one for 1,500 or 2,000. We can cater for that, all on the same premises. And it's also a one-stop shop. We have a cake room, your wedding cake. We have our decorators at hand. We have our florists.
Right.
We have our party coordinators, wedding coordinators like our Bokuma's company, Pebble 12. We are with all of them working, collaborating together.
Right.
So it makes it easier. And I think it's also, you know, we know the ocean is next, and also we have the lagoon, the Mele Lagoon. And those who love nature and wildlife, like the birds, they just love the environment is really serene and beautiful. And it's a hotel. When you look around Labadi Beach Hotel, it could be anywhere on this earth.
Right.
You could be in the Caribbean. You could be anywhere. I think that is why it's a favorable choice.
I mean, I was there recently. I had a massage at Labadi Beach. And
Yes.
okay, my body's doing the talking.
Our spa is one in a million.
Right.
It's situated between the ocean,
Yeah.
by the beach,
And then
the Mele
the
Lagoon.
exactly,
So
and-
it has that feeling that the most beautiful feeling. And Dora and the team are excellent.
Yeah, I was there with my wife, and
Yes.
she's watching now. I
Oh.
don't want her telling me that let's go do the 10th anniversary
So
of
please,
Labadi now.
and you know the spa too, we have spa parties there.
Right.
It's very fashionable now.
Okay.
You get groups of 5, 10, 15, even 20, or even 30. So you can have a little party there. So, and Labadi Beach, we have so many spaces. That's
Right.
also what makes it
And that's what I want to find out
attractive.
from you. How are
Yeah.
you taking advantage of this particular event to ensure
Yes.
that the spaces available
Yes.
at Labadi
Yes.
Beach are also brought to the fore?
So the spaces we have in Labadi Beach, we have the ocean front, as I was saying. We have the spa for little events. We have this beautiful glass marquee. We can take up to 600 people. We have our beautiful grounds. You can have it anywhere, your wedding anywhere on the grounds. We have our purpose-built Omania Hall. We have the Labadi Suite. We have a few little restaurants that people have little do's there.
Yeah.
So whilst the wedding fair is going on Sunday at noon, at 12, there'll be a walk around, show around the whole hotel.
Oh, okay.
We have our sales ladies, Phoebe and Maya and Linda, who is our guest relations manager.
Right.
They'll be showing everybody around. But anyone can walk in anytime. We are waiting for you. Just
Okay.
reach out. And from the security, if you ask them, they will show you where the offices are, and anyone will show you around. And I know you will be, when you come to Labadi, have an open mind. And you can choose. I mean, you can choose anything. We can cater for you.
I won't talk about the food, but let me come back to
No, the food,
I don't want to get hungry this morning. But let me come back to you. I mean, who has to be a part of the fair this weekend, and how do people get to be a part of it?
This weekend, we're definitely inviting all brides and grooms who are planning their wedding, anyone who's helping them plan their wedding, friends, family, colleagues, anyone who is interested in weddings as well, come
Right.
and then be inspired, because there's so much to give. We have a lot of goodies to give us. Can I go over
Yes,
them?
yes, I
Okay.
see a lot of coupons
Yes,
here
yes.
and invites and all of
So
that.
over here, so part of the wedding fair, the opening ceremony for the wedding fair is what we call the Bliss wedding ceremony. So it's a
Right.
real wedding ceremony. So we are building a real wedding ceremony with a real bride and groom, and every vendor that's exhibiting for this ceremony is showcasing what they do.
Right.
So we have a decorator, we have a wedding gown designer, hair, makeup, an orchestra, everything.
An orchestra?
Everything set for a ceremony, but it's an invitation-only event.
Right.
So we have 2 of these for your viewers, however
Okay.
you want to give them.
Okay.
So this is for Saturday morning. Apart from that, we have 2 tickets each for the workshops that I mentioned. So we have 2 of each of those ones for
For
your
the 3,
for the 4 workshops.
Okay.
So that's 8 tickets for your viewers as well. And another one of the workshops that we have is a candle making workshop. That's going to happen. So you make your candles and you literally take it home. So that's also happening at the Radiance Fair. It's a lot of
so
goodies.
much happening.
And then one of our sponsors is Moet. And we have the Champagne Lounge. So the Champagne Lounge, we have some tickets to the Champagne Lounge, and it entitles you to a free champagne cocktail.
Wow. All of this.
All of this
for my lovely
free.
viewers.
All of this
Right.
for free. The fair is free to attend.
Okay.
You just have to register to attend
And
at
how
Radiance
do they
Bride.
register?
So you go on radiancebride.com. It's very simple. You just go on there and then buy a free ticket. Well,
Okay.
you register for a free ticket to attend the fair. But the workshops are the only paid aspect. The workshops are 300 cedis per workshop.
Okay.
But everything else for the fair, to attend the fair and enjoy all of these, is free.
It's free.
You just
Okay.
go to radiancebride.com.
Radiancebride.com. And then you can register for free. So in 30 seconds each, I'll take your final words.
Come to the Radiance Fair this weekend at the Labadi Beach Hotel. I can't wait to see you. I'm looking forward to meeting all of you. Come and experience all the vendors who are doing amazing in the wedding industry in Ghana. And come and experience the Labadi Beach Hotel.
All right.
Yes.
Equa, 30 seconds.
Yes, come to Labadi Beach Hotel. We're all waiting for you. We're waiting to take your events. It can be weddings, parties, celebrations, and come and enjoy our spa too, which is world class. So we'll be expecting you this weekend and beyond.
Definitely. So it's the Radiance Fair this weekend, 15th and 16th of June at the Labadi Beach Hotel. You don't want to miss out on this. And trust me, Labadi Beach, Charlie, the things they are doing there. Anyways. So we'll be back right after this short break. Stay with us. You know what? So even before we came on set, a lot is happening, and it tells you the caliber of person I have in the studio now. And if you heard that song in the background, I mean, it's everything. But the big question is, how do I even introduce him? Where do I start from? Where do I start from? Because you see, he's not just a rapper. He's also an incredible singer. His singing voice is amazing. He's a producer. When we talk about production, this man does his own songs. Like, he sits down, picks the keyboard, starts playing stuff, adds stuff to it. And he started creating tracks when he was 16. What were you doing when you were 16 years? Me, I don't know. But he's worked with the legendary Reggie Rockstone, you name them, and he's done stuff with them. And his background is rich. I mean, when we talk of Osibisa, his father was part of it. I mean, just name it. His uncles are doing, his cousins are doing things. So it's like arts is in the family. And you can say, this particular apple did not fall far from the tree. In fact, he fell right under the tree. And describing his music is something that will be difficult. Why? He does everything. Hip life, he was there from the beginning. Hip hop, he's one of the people who's been holding it. When we talk of high life, he's there. I listened to one of his songs, and I'll ask him about it. In 2011, I don't know what he was thinking about when he did that particular song. We'll talk about it. But he has soul, electronic music. The guy is doing all of that. And as a solo artist, he shines. But it becomes worse when he teams up with one of my favorite, One Love, Kobolo. When they become FOKN, Charlie, there is war. And they tackle very controversial issues head on. Like, the things that you and I cannot talk about are the very things that they get into the studio and then they spit all those bars. And when he dives into electronic music, fused with Afrobeats, bro, you know, Charlie, that's why I forget it. And he's also a filmmaker. Because when you look at even the songs he produces, you read down there and produced by, written by, shot by, I'm like, yo, why? You want to do everything. Ladies and gentlemen, I have the multifaceted artist, Mensa, in the studio.
Wow.
Mensa, how you doing?
Please. I need a copy of this intro so I can just copy it and use it as my CV.
I beg. but your CV will be like 34 pages. This is just like 2 minutes.
I was like, who is he talking about? What a guy.
It's you I'm talking about, bro. Welcome.
Thank you. Very kind words.
How you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. I'm excited today.
Right.
Yes, my mother was born today.
Oh.
Yes, so
right.
It's my mother's birthday.
It's your mother's birthday?
Yes.
Shout outs to her.
Shout outs to Auntie Charity.
Yeah, Auntie Charity. And it's also my co-host, Lily. It's her birthday today, too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, she
So
must be great and tough.
Very.
Yes.
Very tough in every sense of the word.
Yes.
She's very tough. Yes. Yeah. Welcome once again.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Right, so, I mean, when we talk about Mensa, we talk about music. So I want to ask you something. If I take music from your life, what is left?
The father of some children who don't respect me at all. I'm just a driver, a chef, a room cleaner, just houseboy.
I want to be able to
I'm
conduct
serious.
this interview.
Honestly, if you take the music away from me,
right,
the people who control my life are children.
my children.
Right.
Yes.
How many of them?
They keep me broke. I even have other people's children as my own. So let me say about 7.
7. So most of that music is
Just
the
a
cleaner.
useless man. Yes.
Producers, please get me a sign.
No. No, really, to be honest with you, yes, if I'm not like making music, I'm really just yeah, honestly, and trying to clean my home and my, surroundings and playing table tennis.
Okay.
That's what I do these days. And recently I've discovered Sudoku.
Yeah, Sudoku.
And you know what? I always thought that I would never be able to do it because mathematics was not my thing. But I woke up one day and I saw a Sudoku thing and I started working on it and it just worked for me. So I've just been doing that.
You've been doing that?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Interested. So then let's talk about the music because
Yes.
what you're telling me
This is boring. Normal guy stuff. You know?
because I mean I don't want to get into that. But let's talk about the music. So when you and Kwekwachi entered the studio, what were you thinking about?
Hey!
I'll say hey.
What is this reference?
I mean, what were you guys thinking about when you decided to enter the studio in Dansoman? You saw appearances and all of that. What were you thinking about?
This is, this is FBI kind of CIA kind of digging.
No, I mean, Kill Dog.
Yeah.
You entered the studio with him.
Bro, you're not stopping. You're just going deeper and deeper.
Oh, no, I'm just asking questions.
So Kill Dog was a friend of mine who was bounced from America because he was misbehaving. And then when his father brought him to Ghana, I was the first friend that he made.
I mean,
so his father regretted.
Of all people. Why would you be the first friend he was
Yeah. Send me, the yo-yo life was inside.
Yeah.
Bro, we were about 14, 13, I think.
You were 14?
Yeah, 14. Went to studio, Campsite Studios.
Yeah.
At that time, the engineer then was our very own impeccable Apietus.
In the mix.
And he was not in the mood. Apietus in the mix, but not in the mood. Like, who are these two? In those days, right, they will sell you, you take your own tape cassette.
Okay.
And you have 2 takes.
Just 2?
Yes, if you record it in Tia, that's it. And then they'll just record it and then they'll just dab it onto the tape cassette for you to go.
Right.
So, and Kill Dog was my friend who, Ghanaian Kwekwachi. He was from Detroit, I think. His mom was African American. He had a very traumatic experience as a young man. I'm just going into this. His older brother shot his mom. His older brother had just come back from the Gulf War and was going through like a PTSD and just one day just opened fire on his own mother. So, he has to be removed from that kind of environment. And, my household was always, a place where, all the kids used to hang out. So my mom really embraced him.
Right.
And then, he was such a good writer.
Okay.
You know, I mean, Yankee. So even if you couldn't rap cry, the slurs, the slangs, was over. And so, I like to, my whole thing is that I like to stay close to people who inspire me.
Okay.
So, we kind of, just bouncing off each other.
Do you remember what you guys did in the studio that day?
I'd much rather not. Because this is the thing that makes me cringe and I'll just be like, oh my God.
What are you
Who
thinking?
gave me the vim to do this, Now I see why Apietus was not in the mood. In the mix.
Was it that bad?
It's in hindsight, what can I say as a 14-year-old? What do I know?
Yeah.
I remember the lyrics. Oh my God. Yeah. Let's move on. Next question, please. Yeah. But we're rappity rap.
You were just rapping
rapping
and all of that. Yeah. So at that point, would you say that is when you felt like, this is what I'm going to do? Music.
Yeah. I because at that point, that was like, there's always something else that I was doing that was very studious in a sense, because I was taking very intense piano lessons. I was playing piano for church.
Right.
In an Anglican church, in a very kind of strict, stiff way, playing. Sometimes I'll go and play a pipe organ in Takoradi and stuff like that. So I knew that there was something in there that, was for me. And I also liked to write.
Oh, okay.
So English comprehension at school. Spelling bee. So when you combine those things, there was a kind of, and then I remember I also got invited to be a radio host when I was around that age, you know, like 13, 14.
Right.
Called a Golden Child on Gold FM, you know. So all those things were kind of leaning towards, and my mom was teaching me how to write Infanti, like to read and write Infanti. So I knew that, be it subconsciously or intentionally, I was being prepared
For something like that.
Yeah.
Right. And you were there, the start of Hip Life,
Yes.
when it all started.
Yeah.
The vision that you guys saw for Hip Life, is that what it is now?
I'm not somebody who has vision.
I mean, that's what you told me this.
You know, I have intuition.
Okay.
That's what I create with intuition and just being connected to things and being observant, you know?
Right.
So for me, when I got the chance to work with Reggie, it was just an opportunity for me to really be in the same space with the person who blew my mind the most as a teenager. And this is this guy who's now saying, no, man, I want you to write music together. I want you to produce for me. It's like, wow. So I wasn't really thinking about, you know, when you're in it, you don't think about, okay, this is where it could go. But after I released my first album, Republic, with the, you know, song with VIP and so on and so forth, I quickly realized that if I don't do something proactive, I will kind of plateau very quickly, you know? And so I kind of had my siblings help me to borrow some coins and, you know, travel to kind of educate myself a little and learn more about, you know, music creation and engineering and how to make it sustainable for me, because that's something that is very difficult to have as a creative in these parts. To have a career that you can say you've grown within, and through the years you've developed and learned different things, and that makes you relevant and not desperate, you know. Because, you know, when you look at our greats and people who even inspired us, they've had really difficult lives, you know. I mean, we just lost KK Kabobo a few months ago, and that was one of the most heartbreaking things for me, because a few months before that he was on radio talking about hardships, and this is like an age-old story for all our creatives. So
exactly,
you know,
exactly.
I just really had to find things that I can do on the side, remain creative, but not necessarily in the front line or, you know, in the limelight, but still I enjoy thoroughly, you know, and that's really what I
So when you look at how Hip Life, as it was, currently is, now what they call it, Afrobeat?
I tried to avoid the question, you brought me back. Okay, cool, yes.
I mean, when you look at it now, what do you make of it?
It's two sides. I mean, it's grown. It's, you know, Nigerians got involved and it grew exponentially.
Right.
It's a worldwide phenomenon, which is great. People are making money of it. People are making a living out of it. Once again, it's about sustainability and integrity in creating music, because that's the only way you can make the music stay.
Right.
So I don't want a situation where we are being pawned and we are just being used because it's the cool thing and then we get discarded. So that's the thing that I fear. And when, as Ghanaians, we look at how immense this thing can be, we can also be driven to just want to go in that direction and not create
our own
good
stuff.
and create good stuff, you know. So that's what I'm worried about, and I'm more concerned about being able to build an industry.
Are you seeing that, losing the quality in terms of the originality of our music,
a
our
little
sound?
bit, but I don't want to knock creatives. I don't want to criticize creatives, because I know how difficult it is, and I know why sometimes we all want to make the same thing, because that'd be what they pop. You see what I mean?
Exactly.
And everybody wants a way out. So it's hard for you to see the thing where they pop and be like, oh, you know what, I'm going to make some complicated, deep music, and because blah, blah, it's privileged kind of things, you know? So it's a struggle, but things are changing.
But do the structures support people?
There's no structure. What structure? There's no structure.
At all?
No structure. No, there's no structure. I don't think so. There's just entrepreneurs. Everybody's really trying really hard, you know, to make it work in this industry. Everybody's an independent person, seeking help from friends, family, investors, and so on and so forth. But there's no real structure that, you know, really supports creatives. I'm not even talking about musicians, but generally, you know, real dance schools, proper media houses that schools that teach, you know, filmmaking in a really top level. Music schools that are teaching music engineering, computer science,
Yeah.
because it's all, it all adds up. So when I talk about industry, that's what I mean, like building a real foundation that supports the creative arts, because,
So now people are just chasing the money.
Whatever
will bring money
yeah,
quickly.
Yeah, and
jump
I'm
on
not
it.
complaining. It's just the way things are, We're all just, scrambling.
I've been listening to your music for some time, but I'm very curious about two songs.
Wow.
And I want to know what you were thinking, what your thought process was around that time.
Yeah.
2011, 2012.
It's me.
You said your mother taught you how to write in Fanti.
Yes.
So you wrote Fanti love song.
Yes.
I know ball. Then Kille Willy Pim Pim.
Oh my God, yes.
What are you thinking about?
So, Kille Willy Pimpin is a very interesting song. I have one of my cousins who I grew up with.
Yeah.
I was here, he was in Abuchi, and he used to come on summer holidays.
Right.
And he'd be learning Fanti small.
Okay.
So when I actually wrote Kille Willy Pimpin, I think I was in London. We were in my flat. And when I played the beats for him, he just put together the two Ghanaian words that he knows. Or Kille Willy and Pimpin. It's like, bro, this does not make sense, but it sounds cool as hell.
I mean, I don't understand myself. I'm like, why? Kille Willy Pimpin says saying.
So I just took the plantain that is used to make Kille Willy. I thought plantain goes in an oven.
Yeah.
You can toton it or you can fry it. And then kind of make it a sexual innuendo. And the rest was history.
And if you've not watched the video, I better go and watch the video.
Yes.
And I'm like, okay, were you in love at that time? Because that came after Fancy Love Song.
Yes, it did.
Fancy Love Song, I've listened to it.
Yes.
I've watched the video.
Yeah.
I've seen you do your thing in there. I'm like, okay, what was Mensa going through?
Yeah.
Because for me, it was a departure.
Yeah.
From the Mensa that I know.
Yeah. The thing is, I have some people around me who are always daring me to do things. This is really what it is. Mensa, you should sing. You should sing in Fanti.
Yeah.
You should do this. Then me too, like a fool. I was like, okay, why not? So that Fanti Love Song was for me, like when I was listening to CK Man, Elijah K from Pong, all these kind of dope high life artists, all of them, Kujunchi, all of them. I was like, okay, Papa Yankson. I was like, okay, I'm Fanti, I know what it's like, my dad and what's it called, Ambule and all these guys, like how they talk and how they express, what would it be like for me to write a love song? And the whole premise of the song actually is thinking about my girlfriend when Dumso has happened. In Suruto, we Dum Kanya. That's the first. So I use our trauma to create.
Your trauma became your inspiration.
Yeah, but to think of it, that I was stressing about Doomsaw around that time, 2009, 2010.
Right.
It's been going on for a while.
It's still here.
Oh, no. Right now, there's no. Right now, everything is fine.
Right now, there's no Doomsaw.
Yeah.
Everything is fine.
If you come to Dansuman, clear light.
So, those of you who live in Dansuman, corroborate this for me.
Do we have light off in Dansuman? No. The one that happened 2 days ago for 24 hours is in your mind.
What happened 2 days ago? What all happened in Dansuman 2 days ago? Because there's no Doomsaw.
Yeah.
No.
But people were complaining, but I think they were confused.
What were they confused about?
That the fridge was off, electricity was not happening, air conditioning, fan, computers, internet all off. I was like,
Or it could be they didn't put a switch on.
They didn't just switch on the lights, the meter.
So like all the homes in Dansuman that did not have lights.
They all made the same mistake at the same time.
At the same
for
time.
24 hours.
And there's no Doomsaw in Dansuman. Because it's a Pechepe area. Like,
Yeah. Anybody who complains about Doomsaw is hating on the current government. They are haters. Because it's perfect.
Which part of Dansuman do you live at?
The good part.
But I mean, you were frustrated about Doomsaw at the time. And the fact that your girlfriend too at the point and then where Doomkania?
No, that one, they were using it to inspire my music. So Doomsaw is good.
And now what is it doing to you?
To inspire my music. Because I make ready side to go studio. This next question.
You know what? Let's take a listen to one of my favorites one of my favorites when it comes to Mensa songs. And Mensa would tell me, he told us the story behind it, but listen to it.
Wow.
Yeah. Mensa.
I was young.
I mean, that's Kelewele Pimping.
Yes.
And that's why I'm asking him what he was thinking about when he was writing this music.
Yeah,
I mean,
man.
It's a sharp departure.
Yeah.
From Mensa talking about the hard issues, making you know, like,
Yeah.
Charlie, I know what's going
I
down.
think it's also really like, I mean, so I took the angle, the POV of like a young man who likes a girl, but is still living in his parents' house.
Yeah, and by that time, your mother was not around.
So I invited them over, you know, to kind of for a nice time.
And we are warming the oven.
Yes.
To roast the plantain.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
And philosophically.
Now, I mean, you have this song, Bisa.
Yes.
And that speaks to how we do not allow people to ask questions, and then, well, the children are always wrong. You don't have to question the adult and all of that. And now you're telling me your kids basically run the house.
They're ruining my life.
They rule your life in total. But has that phenomenon changed for you over the years from the time you put that song out?
Absolutely. Well, I mean, in the world, no, but you know, for me, one of the key things in my career and in my lyric writing is to advocate for people,
right,
especially children and women. And so it's a song. This is the Bisa, you know. The Bisa actually is a sort of acronym which bold infancy, secured adulthood.
Right.
So when a child is raised to be confident, to be able to think critically, to be able to ask questions, to question status quo, they grow up to be an adult who seeks truth and has a good conscience. So yeah, that's what Bisa was about. And really, it was really a reflection of me being a new parent.
Okay.
And encouraging my children to ask questions and not to be intimidated by people who say, oh, a child should be seen and not be heard, and all those kinds of nonsensical things.
Right.
You know? So yeah, it was just me really advocating for young people and students, and also as you know, our relationship with younger people and how we need to give them space,
right,
and to be able to be curious. You know, I think it's important. Yeah.
Interesting. And so when I listened to Question for the Gods, you were Manifest.
Shout out.
If I don't ask this, people will roast me.
Right.
You, One Love.
Yes.
What's the love story? And
the love story.
No, the synergy between you guys has always been off the chain.
Absolutely. So we went to the same school, went to Adisado College. Shout outs to the monochrome school, black and white. And he was my senior. And when I went, I heard that there was a rebel in the school. And soon we became friends. We were in the same house.
What is it about you? I mean, Kale, now One Love. That's where you gravitate towards.
Yeah. That's rebels, you know, because, you know, and also kind of comes back to Bisa, where it's like if you feel stifled, you rebel, you know. So when you find like-minded people, I think you kind of, you know, you congregate. Yeah. So, and then, you know, he was one person who really understood like the way my mind worked and vice versa and so on and so forth. So we used to really run away from school and just write lyrics and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then he left and went to Yankee, and then we kind of met again. And that's how Cause of Money was born. And since then, you know, we really just tapped into our childhood and our teenage years living in Ghana, and all the joys, all the education, the sense of family, community, but also all the messed up things that you know we had to endure. And that's where really FOKN is coming from. It's like tapping into the rebellious young person in us. And so but the idea also is that we didn't want to be like, you know, conscious musicians who just like complaining and just like we're angry, always upset.
Yeah.
How do you make light of the situations?
Exactly.
And it's through satire. That's so just try and make funny jokes, but choke them in the process. Yeah.
And I remember your joint in 2020. I see the video, I'm like, okay, Charlie, the guy's going really hard on politics and all that. But I mean, let's talk about new music. You have new music out?
Yes. So I'm doing a 3-part EP. So it's 3 EPs in the space of a year. So the first one is about to be out soon.
About to be out.
Yes,
okay.
yes.
Right.
So the first single is Obano. And really it's like a mixture of high life, Afro beats, Afro pop, some kind of experimental things. Always just reimagining what the music would be like if it was left for me to, make it evolve, So I really love what's happening. Like Nigerians are making incredible music.
Yeah.
Ghanaians, also doing some interesting stuff.
Yeah.
So my focus is to create some interesting music, but also touch on slightly deep, slightly more layered things, relationship wise. So be it romantic, be it family, our relationship with our parents, our friends, and with ourselves, our insecurities, just touching on these kind of layers of things.
Right.
But doing this in a very Ghanaian way. Yeah.
You've never lost your originality.
Oh no, you can't, because then after that you don't have anything left.
Yeah,
You know?
Well, I just wish we had like 8 hours more to talk because we could have exhausted so much. But Vince, I'm grateful.
Thank
that
you so
came to
much.
the studios
Thank you so
and
much. It's always a
made
pleasure.
it.
Thank you so much.
Charlie, so you know what? Let's enjoy Obano. Yeah, that's what my producer. It's not my fault. It's my producer. My producer.
Thank you. I don't know why my director is calling me Madam Lily today. He says this is my new name for my birthday. Really. But well, on TV, still on the lifestyle and segment. I get to sit with a man of God who wears double hats. He's a man of God. He's propagating the gospel through singing as well. Mr. Leonard Alote is my guest. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine. You are looking super beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. But let's talk about you and what you do.
Yeah.
You're a pastor. You're a preacher of the word.
I'm a preacher here.
And you're also a propagator of the word through music. Yeah. How do you combine the two? Is it easy because, you're always soaked in the word of God?
I think I feel blessed. Bible says God gives some 5 talents, 2, 4. And I'm blessed to have almost all the gifts by the grace of God. And growing up in the Lord, I discovered so many potential in me that will bless the kingdom of God. So I can't just rely on preaching or being an intercessor to people.
Right.
Yeah, so discovering that I'm a powerful worship minister in the church and then a songwriter, helping other artists to build their craft, and then so I've even worked with secular artists and all that. Yeah,
really?
So, yeah, I just love music. Music is
okay, but how was it working with secular music? In terms of the people that you shepherd, what were their thoughts? There are a lot of perceptions and misconceptions. I don't know if they are misconceptions, but there's a line drawn between secular act and a gospel act. How were you able to do this?
It was difficult. So at a point, I had to focus on the gospel because the controversies around it was too much. It's like some are thinking you are backsliding, you are not a real Christian.
You're a real pastor.
You are not a real pastor, you're a fake man of God. And I don't want to be in that category of a fake man of God. So I prayed to God, and then God gave me the right direction to, go in that. And I love to be myself. I'm not this, the way we brand when they say somebody's a pastor.
The conventional
I'm not,
pastoral work.
I'm not that type. Yes.
What are you then?
I'm a man of God. God is using. Yeah, I don't want to even brand myself as an end-time man of God or something, but my ministry has a way of attracting people. And
what church is that, by the way?
Prophetic Gathering Ministry.
Okay, Prophetic Gathering. Where is it located?
Actually, it's a fellowship.
Okay.
It's an online ministry as well. Like, I have people all over the world that I minister to. The prayer line has been on since 2018. Yeah, so it is something I've been doing for years. I was doing prayers on the park, conference, and then I even traveled to African countries by myself to organize conference. Yeah, so
what was the prayer conferences?
Prayer conference. Actually, I prayed to almost all the gifts, prophetic prayer, church workshop, building Christians, and then every aspect of it. Yeah.
Okay.
So the music is.
At what point did At what point did the music come in?
Like I said, I've been a lover of music even before being in the church. Yeah, in the church I was more of an instrumentalist. Then later I got into the singing. Yeah, so I'm a lover of music. GHOne, Lucky Dube. I can mention so many musicians that.
Hey, it's interesting when a man of God says, I'm a lover of Lucky Dube. Usually you hear them go the gospel way.
Just because they don't want to create any problem for themselves. Yeah, a lot of men of God listen to secular music. But if they sit on set, they will tell you, oh, I just listen to gospel. Yeah, because
it's a hypocrisy, huh?
I can't judge them. Everybody in the way. I love to be myself.
Okay.
I express myself. And I'm easy to win the souls that God has given to me. I don't stress telling somebody come to church. I don't find it difficult. Because once I sit down with you, give me the attention, I know what to tell you to love my God that has blessed me. You understand? I came from a very lower level. I've slept on a school classroom, school park, praying every day. At a point in my community, they thought I was going mad. Because you see me with headphone and either I'm listening to preaching or music and walking. I don't do friends.
Okay.
My friend was preachers. I listen to them online and songs I listen to. So this is how I grew up. Yeah.
But how many songs have you done?
I have about 10 songs.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Do you have an album yet?
I just released Next Level album. Next Level album is a compilation of all the songs I've been recording
over the
since
years.
2011.
Oh, okay. Since 2011, that's a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how many songs are on there?
There are 10.
10 songs.
Yes, online. Yeah.
They are online. Where can we find the songs?
Spotify, Boomplay, AudioMac, all the digital platforms. And I have a new video. Baba is doing very well on the YouTube.
What's one of the songs that you did that you knew that you poured your heart into that song?
That's a recent one, Baba.
Baba?
I gave out everything.
Tell us about Baba. What inspired this writing?
Baba is like a prophecy to me because I was frustrated in Ghana. So I thought...
What made you frustrated? Is it the economic challenges? What was frustrating
everything,
you?
Economically, education-wise, ministry, relationship. Should I go on financially, everything?
Well, I like the relationship with... they said everybody go chop breakfast.
Yeah.
Even the man of God chop breakfast.
We chop.
Hey!
We have to chop so that you experience the breakfast they are serving you. Yeah, so a UK guy came for my girlfriend and it was an embarrassing. People were laughing because I was having a fellowship. She was assisting me and then a UK guy came in with money. So
and married her off.
You
people. So that's what you're singing that for.
Happy birthday to you.
I saw him actually. I saw him this morning. I thought he was a guest. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate this. Thank you, baby. Love you too, baby. Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. Happy. Okay, I think I need to come so we cut the cake.
Yes.
Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to me. Okay.
Well, no, so Lily, happy birthday to you.
Okay, so time to cut the cake.
And the cake is from Dips and Bites.
Okay. Oh, thank you, Dips and Bites.
For Lily Mohammed. Wait. We are cutting the cake in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. The cake is really thick. The layers are so thick. It takes time to go down.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you to Team EIB. It's a beautiful thing to be part.
You have to cut it again.
Yes.
Hey.
Yeah.
So
And then you have to taste it.
You need to have a bite.
1, 2,
You are dipping and
again.
biting. You are dipping and biting.
And you know what? Okay. So that was a dip into her mouth. So this is the message to you. Happy birthday to the vivacious Lily Mohammed. You are a breath of fresh air, an amazing colleague, and a proper human being.
Proper.
Yeah. We appreciate you and your commitment to what you do. Have an amazing year. We love you.